Time moves a little slow.
For over a decade, the best riders in the world have met right here. This is the pinnacle of MX Simulator.
And he takes his teammate down!
To win, it takes dedication, skill, grit, and desire.
Leclerc underneath of him punts him up.
This is the battleground. It all starts right here, right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross. From Tampa, Florida, riding for Moto Playground, number 14, Tyler Lane.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute.
From Lake Havasu City, Arizona, riding for MV Films, number 20, Jeremy Cohenauer.
I be chillin' with the gang. Through this blood sucker.
From Portland, Oregon, riding for BPC, number 21, Chase Blakely.
Boy, you should keep it space. H block, this is not your place. Bro, this pop your ass like a balloon. Wanna play around, I bet you lose. Sit your ass down, don't move. Gelati, yeah, we running with the toes. Shot it like to sip up on the goose. White girl got me feeling like a loon. Looney Tune, we running with the loop. My gun is my just running.
From Orlando, Florida, riding for atom.com, number 17, Adam Holmes. From Los Angeles, California, riding for Moto Playground, 2019 250 East Champion, number 26, Isaiah Dickerson. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for SwapMotoLive.com, 2020 250 West Champion, number 19, Braden Carter.
Never gonna stop, never gonna stop. Going to the top, Kobe with the shot. Cooking like a pop, I said shit. Popping like a kernel, I was never taught. CBA, never said, I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a race, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, CBA, never said, I've been on my grind for 7 days. Need a race, swear to God I'll never be the same. TBH, TBH, yeah, she tell me just do it cause I'm
From Peachtree City, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, number 6, Colton Mitchell. From Picardy, France, riding for AJ Originals, 2018 Supercross Champion, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. From El Paso, Texas, riding for Jack Daniels Racing, 2019 Supercross Champion, number 2, Jack Haley.
no matter who you are, now our future is gone. Monsters recreated all around. We have to survive now, sunshine is gone. What's left of the world live under the ground. But through the golden sea, we see the dawn. We'll fight like the devil.
Tell her pull up to the villa. Buy shit in really, she realize I'm on a mic, it's a thriller. Walk on the cook, call me Kimba. I might kill our shit, yeah. I might read our shit.
From Warner Robins, Georgia, riding for Panini Motorsports Underground RC, your defending Supercross champion, number 1, Jeremy Siebel.
Hopping on my roast, yeah, bad bitch on my phone. Running up, I keep it low. Getting money, brody, she never told. No stick it so mad, I'ma go. The whole heart got tired from fucking on my. I cannot phone on basic call. I tell the shorty to rake it on. All I hear is shit facing on. How in the coupe, I race it on. Bad little bitch in the car.
Welcome, everybody, to round number 9, I should say, of the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, and we're bringing you guys the action tonight from Daytona. That is right, the midway point of the season, and we have got a lot of really good racing on hand here tonight. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to MotoOption Supercross, the premier MX Simulator Championship. We've already done 8 rounds of this championship, and there's been a lot to talk about. But first of which I want to talk about tonight is this season schedule, because where we are right now is at the halfway point of this season, March 3rd here at Daytona. So now we're back ahead of the real schedule momentarily. We're going to be ahead at Daytona and ahead at Arlington, but then that second Arlington will obviously be one day behind the real schedule. So we're moving into the second half of the season as well for the 450 guys, but these 250 guys in the West class, they just got that first race out of the way last weekend, and boy, what a race that was. That is going to be a big storyline to talk about here tonight. But also want to talk about this real quick. We're doing a giveaway here tonight. MotoOption Clothing jumping on board again with another giveaway, the second time we've done it this year. MotoOption Clothing says, win a MotoOption Spark Elite custom tee and swag pack tonight, a black tee that features their Spark design in 2 colors on the front and your name and number in 2 colors on the back. You select the design color and it will be accented with white to really make it pop. This prize also comes with a swag pack from MotoOption. So head over to startyoursystems.com/giveaways tonight. Going to be open for another hour or so. So another hour for you guys to get on board with this giveaway. You guys will definitely want to jump on that. And thanks again to MotoOption for their continued support of the series. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. This is the qualifying times from here tonight. Get a refresh of that and take a look in our 450 class. Colton Mitchell looks like he has topped qualifying here at Daytona. Look at these times though. Whoops. 123.5 to a 124.8 out of Leclerc, so over a second faster for Mitchell. Lang, Eaglin, Seabold all up there, Jack Haley in 6th, and these times obviously very long because Daytona, very long track. Here's your 250 class. Tanner Rogers, last week's winner, just out qualifying Payson Johnson by a 1/10 of a second, but both of them well out in front of Tyron Tomic, who finished on the box last week. Lois Gorin, Ethan Gerst all up in there, so it's good to see close battlings. But here is a bit of the story right now in this championship for the 450 class. 10 points separating Alexis Leclerc and Tyler Lang after Leclerc's second victory on the season last week at Orlando, and Lang now obviously 10 points down. Braden Carter loses some more points as well after a bit of a rough round. He ends up coming home in 4th, and now sits 16 points behind Leclerc. Jack Haley still in this thing with a chance, but he's exactly 1 race distance behind at 26 points, so he's going to need to make another big swing here tonight in Daytona and try to claw that thing back a little bit. But the 250 West Division just kicked off last week, and remember, crazy battle to the finish with Tanner Rogers and Payson Johnson going at it for the win. Tomic ends up on the box ahead of Davis and Trent Adams. So that is the storyline for the racing action here tonight. Let's go ahead and jump in the server and get things ready to go. I believe I probably timed out, so we'll disconnect and reconnect. And while we're reconnecting and getting ready to go here for 250 West Heat number 1, I don't know what my game's doing. Go ahead and just quickly remind you guys again of that giveaway. Again, it is startyoursystems.com/giveaways. You guys want to get on board with this entries will be open for another 56 minutes, so go ahead and jump on board with that and win yourself a cool t-shirt. The t-shirt's really cool. The swag pack for MotoOption, like I said, we did this earlier on in the season. And what is my game doing? Awesome. Game is crashing over here. Yeah, the giveaway winner we'll probably pick after the last chance qualifiers, so right before the main event. Come on, what are we doing? I'm just going to close it and reopen it. Apologies for this, folks. People are saying the server crashed or something. I'm not sure what's going on here exactly, but we're trying to get it all sorted out. Remember, join that giveaway as we load back into the game. Great to have all you guys here tonight, joining us for round 9 of the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series from Daytona. We are just about ready to get racing underway as soon as we get back in the server. So not sure if there was a server issue or something, but appreciate you guys stopping by. 430 viewers already. And normally we have a heightened viewership at the main events. So you guys are killing it coming in here early. I think a lot of you guys are just wanting to see the Daytona track. I know that probably got you with that thumbnail a little bit. But hey, we're going to watch this track here in just a minute and watch these guys rip around this. If you've never been with us on MotoOption Supercross Wednesday nights here before, the racing has been fantastic all year long. Maybe one of the best 250 main events ever last week. We saw a 450 main event a couple weeks ago between Jack Haley and Alexis Leclerc. That was absolutely insane. And the boys are not messing around. I actually do want to really quickly mention one thing here, though. Adam Holm, many of yours favorite rider, a lot of people like Adam, is thinking, or at least probably going to be hanging it up here pretty soon from professional MX Simulator Racing. Holm has been at it for a very long time. I think he got to start probably around the same time I did back in 2012, 2013-ish. And Holm has had many tremendous battles, a lot of outdoor victories, one Supercross win to his name, but most people remember him for that titanic battle between himself and Alexis Leclerc to see who would win the 2018 450 National Championship. Eventually went to Leclerc, but Holm didn't go down without a fight there into that last corner of the season, maybe the best championship fight we've ever seen in Sim. And Holm announced earlier this week that he at least is going to only be racing this race tonight as his last Supercross race of the season. He doesn't know whether or not he will be racing any GPs or Nationals in the upcoming season. But right now he is pretty much taking an indefinite leave from the game. Says that he's just kind of getting a little bit, burnt out on the wear and tear that this game has, which is it's very true. I've been there before. When you're a top pro in this game, it's really difficult to stay at the top of the game for this long, and totally get where Holm's coming from. But he's also very focused on his music career. Many of you may or may not know that Adam Holm also is pretty into EDM and dubstep and has been producing some of his own music lately, so he's trying to give that a little bit more of a go. So he's just taking a step back from the game. He's not saying 100% that he's quitting just yet, but wanted to get that announcement out there so people understand that we'll only see Adam Holm maybe one more time this year tonight, and he'll be in those 450 races a little bit later on. So cheer on your boy here from Florida, the Orlando native. Holm coming up in the 450 class a little bit later on. But we're set to go. It is time for 250 West Heat number 1 action live here on Star Your Systems. Let's go racing here at the World Center of Speed. Up the inside, the 22 of Tanner Rogers on the SwapMotoLive.com. Husqvarna gets the hole shot. He gets booted right out of the way, though. It was Jaden Wilson, who won his heat race last week, goes right to the lead. You're going to see these guys making a lot of mistakes, hearing that this triple on these 250Fs is very difficult to clear, as Tyrone Tomic goes right to the leader on the outside on the Connect Visual number 41, the rider out of Australia. John Borick, thank you for the $2 donation, says, Kellen, should I go for the stash? I mean, heck yeah, I'm doing it. Why not? Everybody going for the mustachio look lately, so do it. And Agra Sixna also, thank you for the €10 donation a little bit earlier on. I apologize that I did not say your name a little bit earlier, but Agra Sixna always up in here donating. Really appreciate the support as always, and all of you guys here tuning in. So we're already about halfway through this first lap of this 6-minute plus 1 lap 250 West Heat number 1, and it's Tomic leading the way, but Ethan Gerst is trying to close up on the Covenant. Number, is that the 55 right there out of Gerst? Keeping the pressure on Tyrone Tomic out front. And this section right here, very tricky, kind of like a wall jump over-under bridge, and then an inside-out option in the split, and then some carrot jumps going into the back. And then these guys will double, triple, try to downside this triple clean, and then triple again. These 250Fs really having to get all the power out to get that triple through here. And over the big Supercross triple, down through some sand whoops up to the finish line jump. Very fast set of whoops into the finish line. So you're going to see some guys clicking gears and trying to hit the finish line wide open if they're in a battle for that final transfer spot. But it's Tyrone Tomic after 1 lap who continues to lead here at Daytona. It's Ethan Gerst up in the 2 ride. Jaden Wilson's dropped back to 3rd, but he's still up here. John Heilman runs in 4th, and Tanner Rogers, your red plate holder, rounds out the top 5 right now. It's Jeremy Estrella in 6th place ahead of Zoe Cross in 7th. Brandon Nygren runs in 8th. And it's Trevin Thompson right now in 9th, but he has got a whole host of riders closing up right on behind him. It's got Nathan Guy, a couple guys cased in the Supercross triple up ahead. And Thompson getting all out of shape up here. So here comes Nathan Guy, Neil Wells, Cooper Hunt, all back in the mix. And you're going to see some bonsai set, people flying through the whoops here. Oh, riders down. That was Zoe Cross, I believe, on the 27, and more riders going off in the background. Look at how close the action is back here, as I think that was Neil Wells going down, perhaps. Brandon Nygren under attack, but look at, we're 3-4 wide in the mid-pack here as Tomic has gone and pulled out a nice little lead at the front, but all the action hot and heavy back here. I think these guys now battling it out for the 8th spot. Thompson actually, is up to 7th. So Frank Jackson right here, he's in 8th, and Cooper Hunt, this is your final transfer spot right now. Neil Fitzpatrick, Jeremy Estrella back here, 172 of Nathan Guy trying to sneak up into the mix. You can see these guys with these carrot jumps. Tanner Rogers was down. Oh, and Nathan Guy gets taken down up the inside. Jeremy Estrella going for that block pass. He's going to case this jump, so he's not going to be able to do the preferred option. Goes for the triple, and look at all the spots he's going to lose. These guys scrubbing around the outside of him into the Supercross triple, and everybody jockeying for position as Tanner Rogers, your points leader, now finds himself right in the thick of this intense battle back here. I think he is currently in that final transfer spot. Yes, he is, just ahead of Cooper Hunt. And you're seeing inside roll double options outside. Rogers gets the triple clean. He's going to go bar to bar. We got dualies over the triple with Neil Fitzpatrick. Rogers up the inside will make that pass. And these guys not electing to jump up onto that tabletop. They're just taking it easy. Oh, look at Rogers getting sideways, but he's closing that gap down. Frank Jackson and Trevin Thompson just up the road. Meanwhile, up front, we got a battle for the lead. Tyron Tomic has been caught by John Heilman. SwapMotoLive.com. Number 73 of Heilman might be going to the lead. Tomic, a little mistake. It's going to be bar to bar through the rollers. And over the tunnel jump, Tomic trying to stay close. He's going to tuck. Oh, I thought he might go up the inside. He's going to triple up the inside and hits Heilman, and Heilman somehow stays up, but they're both connected there a little bit. So Jaden Wilson on the 65 has closed the gap down. And man, those carrot jumps really wreaking havoc on those guys. You can see that double, triple. Triple is so crucial to get on these 250s. Last triple not as important because they're just kind of jumping out to flat. But that second triple in line, the third jump that they hit, it's got a real peaked out landing, so you got to downside it cleanly as Jaden Wilson's going to try to pull up alongside of John Heilman, thinking outside in perhaps. Now I think he's going to go to the outside and try to triple by Heilman, who does not get the line, and yeah, Wilson going to take it easy in the end. Now he'll try to work on closing up to Tyron Tomic. Jaden Wilson won his heat race last week, and things didn't go exactly how he wanted to in the main event. Able to grab a 6 as Tomic is sideways, and he's down. Tomic down with the race lead. And he's going to lose several positions. 3 riders have gone by. Here comes a 4th. He's trying to get on. Watch out, that sideways track re-entry. He's going to lose 4 spots, go back to 5th. Gets on right ahead of Frank Jackson. So a nice job at recovering. Those of you that have not been with us before here for MotoOption Supercross, a fall-off crash is when your legs fall off the bike. You cannot have your arms fall off the bike in MX Simulator, just the way the physics were created in this game by Josh Vanderhoof. So your legs can fall off, and your rider takes a little bit of time to get his leg kicked around and slowly pick the bike back up. Anywhere from 8 to 12 seconds is the time that you'll lose in a fall-off crash. You can obviously kind of slide out, tip over, do a couple other little things, but that fall-off crash is the biggest detriment to you. So you see Tomic there, who was leading this race, goes back to 5th, now moves back up into that 4th spot, but losing about 8 to 12 seconds on our race leaders. So now Heilman dealing with tons of pressure as he goes off the track. No, I'm sorry, that was Wilson going off the track, and Heilman's going to take advantage of it. White flag is waving for these guys out front, and Ethan Gerst still back here on the prowl. These guys are going to go outside to look for that triple inline and close right up on Heilman. So let's see if Wilson is going to try to make a pass attempt for the race victory. These guys are pretty well clear enough of that final transfer spot that they can kind of send it. So let's see who sends it the hardest. Looks like Heilman gets through the whoops the cleanest. Ethan Gerst back here having to kind of double his way through, and it looks like Tomic is 360, and he does not fall off the bike this time, but he might lose a spot to Nygren. Nygren going over top. Nygren going to hold that spot, so back to our battle for the lead. Heilman trying to hold on for the heat race victory. And Wilson still keeping it close. Going to get a better drive through the sand. Look at the difference it makes when you get a clean drive out of that corner And Wilson closing right back up. Is he going to cross over? Yes, he is. Going to go up the inside of the split lane, which I think is not the preferred line, but Wilson trying to make it work here. And Heilman in the end going to go 3-2, no problem through there. Wilson kind of having to use it like a whoop section. So who gets this rhythm line the cleanest? Heilman does. No problem out front, so as long as he makes it through the whoops here at the end. John Heilman going to bring us down, and 250 West Heat 1 at Daytona belongs to John Heilman on the SwapMotoLive.com machine. Jaden Wilson just went down, so it looks like he'll lose a spot to Tomic and Gerst most likely. Oh, Tomic just went down as well, and Gerst just not able to get to Wilson, so Nygren goes by for 4th, Frank Jackson 5th, Tomic goes back to 7th. Here's Zoe Cross in 8th. And Jeff Giffen right now in 9th. Jeff Giffen goes down. He gets hit from behind. And the gift of all gifts goes to Lane Wofford, who goes into the final transfer spot. Cooper Hunt, an unsuspecting victim there, as Jeff Cooper got sideways over that final triple and went down. Brandon Holmes doesn't go to the main event. Neither does Cooper Hunt, Elliot Person, Neil Wells, Jeff Giffen, Tanner Rogers, Trevin Thompson, Trent Adams, Nathan Guy, Jeremy Estrella, Jack Fowler. All missing out back here. So we'll wait for those cuts to come in. And again, if you're new with us, the cuts or penalty system is post-race. If you were off the track and you went off the track for too long, gained an advantage from one timing gate to the next, it'll apply a little bit of a penalty to you after the race. So we're just waiting on one rider still to finish to see whether or not those penalties applied at the end will adjust who made it into the main event, and it looks like it did not at all, as Lane Wofford goes through to the main event in that 9th place position. But your winner here, John Heilman on the SwapMotoLive.com number 73. And this is the machine he took to victory here in 250 West, heat number 1. You guys are seeing in chat as well, my buddies Sir Lose Alots and J Karen 211, also known as Spooby and Jackrin, posting the links to the giveaway that MotoOption Clothing is doing here tonight. Again, just for a reminder for you guys that are unfamiliar, MotoOption Clothing doing a t-shirt and swag pack giveaway tonight. So go to startyoursystems.com/giveaways, enter the giveaway. We'll be closing that giveaway in about 40 minutes here, so still plenty of time to join if you haven't already. And then we will pick a winner from that giveaway to take home the prize pack for tonight, and then you'll be contacted within the next couple of days to get your prize pack. Thanks so much, MotoOption Clothing, for this giveaway, and always supporting us here in MX Simulator for the 11th year of MotoOption Supercross Racing. All right, 250 West. Heat number 2 coming up, and this one is going to be brought to you by Racetech Suspension. Racetech is an industry leader in suspension components and service. Racetech has been a huge supporter of Race Factory from the beginning, providing a ton of prizing for Race Factory's competitors. Racetech is your place to go for all your suspension needs. Thank you, Racetech, for your continued support of MotoOption Supercross in MX Simulator. And they bring you 250 West Heat number 2. Which will feature your reigning 250 outdoor national champion, Payson Johnson, the man who finished 2nd last week and is still looking for his first career Supercross victory here tonight. Almost got it there away from Tanner Rogers, but Rogers, who was the only rider in this field to have a Supercross victory to his resume already coming into the season, was able to pick up his 2nd win of his career last week. His first win was back in 2016 at Toronto. Now wins the Orlando 2 Supercross to kick off the season, so that's why he's got those red backgrounds on his bike. But Payson Johnson going to try to dethrone him here tonight at Daytona. We'll see whether or not he can do it in those main events later on. But to first qualify for the main event, you must race the heat race. And there could be plenty of chaos involved through there. Here is Johnson on the 8. The Panini Motorsports Underground RC machine. We got Carson West, Jake Kazarian, Caden Speck, Seth Carr, Lois Gorin, Alex Kerr, Kevin Ferzaka, Alex Heckman, Brett Thomas, Alex Helms, Ethan Olson, Michael Mudge, Seth Crotty, Nick Sellen, all in this one. So pick your favorite rider. And we're going to see which of those riders goes through into the top 9 of this one. Only 9 riders go through. It's a 6-minute plus 1 lap mad dash to make the main event here tonight at Daytona. We're getting ready to go here as the 30 car turns sideways and the revs come up. 250 West, heat number 2 on the gate and ready to go. Let's drop the gate again in Daytona. Couple riders hitting the gate and one looping out. It's going to be a mad dash from the outside. A little bit of a hole shot this time. Caden Speck on the EVP number 75 grabs the early lead. He's got Payson Johnson tucked in right behind him on that number 8 Panini Motorsports ride, and he's going to go to the lead. Johnson on the 8 right out to the front just like that. And this is exactly what we expected to see in this heat race. Payson Johnson, in all reality, was the fastest rider on the track last week at Orlando 2. Ran into a couple problems during the main event, though, that ultimately cost him his first career race victory. So he is looking to go right back at it this round. And leading here in 250 West, heat number 2 from the get-go. Lois Gorin right behind him on the 107motorsport.com machine. Dylan Cavacuti is up in third, and Speck gets shoved out of the way as Robert Wilson on the BPC Husqvarna right down the inside and moves him out of the way. Also have Kevin Frazaka on that BPC number 59 coming through. Joe Wagner, Seth Crotty, Jake Kazarian, Brett Thomas, and Nick Sellen, who I don't believe is actually number 16, but he's using that bike. Let's see what he's actually listed under a number. No, he's using number 16, but it's a name that we haven't seen out here before, so pretty sure he's not actually number 16. Johnson leads through at the end of lap number 1. And already looking to be on cruise control. Here's an onboard lap of the track tonight before everything kind of settles in this heat race. You see Payson Johnson's perspective here for a lap. Goes triple over that and then hits the Supercross triple here. Very big Supercross triple for these 250Fs. Got a note from my teammate Alex Heckman in our Facebook chat that it is a tough one to hit here tonight. And you've seen these 250 guys not even electing to triple on in the sand right there. Johnson getting up on top of these whoops very well, getting a little huckabuck at the end, and then just jumping out a little bit to flat here over the tunnel jump. Then gets hard on the brakes for this wall jump, downsides this, and then he jumps in his pocket, jumps up, so he can then double this guy all the way into this corner. And that is carrying some serious momentum on these 250Fs. It's not that easy to go this fast on a 250F, I promise you. You'll see the 450 guys later on doing some bigger lines for sure. Maybe even tripling in out of the back section over here, but Johnson, right now at least, making it look quite easy. Inside option. Then you're going to go over. Then you'll see these 450 guys. I think they're going to triple in out of this corner later on, but these guys still double and triple over. Then another triple and triple out of this rhythm. Then hit this triple, scrub it down. Whew, big one out of Payson Johnson to get on the gas up to the finish line jump and lay down a 1:29.8. Long lap times here at Daytona. So it's still Gorin in second. Robert Wilson up into third. Kevin Frazaka, his teammate, right behind him in fourth. And Dylan Cavacuti on the 94 Moto Playground Gas rounding out the top 5 right now. Let's go back and find our transfer battle. It's still Nick Sellen in the 6th spot. Jake Kazarian in 7th. Carson West running in 8th. And Caden Speck is in 9th, but not for long. Gets stuck up in the Davlos bale. He's going to lose a couple of spots and allow Trevor Burns on the Panini Motorsports Underground RC number 50 to go into that final transfer spot. So he's going to work on holding it on for a little bit here. This is the teammate of race leader Payson Johnson, who has opened up a 15-second gap, and you see these 250 guys really having to struggle through that set of whoops. The interesting thing about this set of whoops is, well, these guys say it's also very tough. I think there's a couple notches in it, but it's a pretty big set of whoops, and unlike most of the whoops that we've seen this year, there's not a good opportunity to get a good drive into it because you have to check up coming out of the gator pit to get up on flat ground again so you can at least get on top of the whoops. And I think all these guys not having an optimal drive into the whoops is killing their momentum all the way throughout. So you're seeing them run out of steam a little bit about halfway through and have to start jumping through the whoops. Or at least we've seen that a couple times. Oh, Burns lays it down. And he was in 9th, so that's going to cost him a transfer spot as going through now is going to be Joe Wagner on the red line 741. Actually, looks like all these guys have moved up a couple spots. Wagner's up to 8th, and Burns now moves back to 9th. Lois Gorin, no, I'm sorry. Maybe Gorin had missed a timing gate. He's back up to 4th now, so go back here, and I think Wagner is in that final transfer spot. Yes, he is, so there's a little bit of a timing gate glitch there. But Wagner now in 9th, and Burns has to go to work here. Close that gap back down to Wagner, and he's going to do so very quickly. Wagner, a mistake, and Burns around the outside, triples over, and right back in the final transfer spot. Oh, and Carson West was down with Nick Sellen as they're both getting up from a crash. So jumping through these guys on the 347 is Seth Carr on the Underground RC. 347. Going to cross back over in front of Nick Sellen and hold on to the final transfer spot. Wagner struggling through the whoops, so Carr closing right up and a rider going down in the background. Didn't quite see who that was. Seth Carr going to go around Wagner here for the 8th spot, at least temporarily so. Wagner trying to fight back around the outside. A nice move in the end by Seth Carr. Ooh, rider down on the outside here. I think that's from a different lane, actually. He must have gone down on the wall jump. As all these guys... No, I'm sorry. That's Jake Kazarian, actually. On the 132 District Design Yamaha. So a lot of riders just went by. Michael Mudge went by. Obviously, we see Trevor Burns up here. Alex Helms. And, oh, the 94 goes down. Cavacuti got hung up in the corner and got taken down. Everybody's splitting around these guys. And look at this frantic action. None of these guys right now. We got dualies, almost trialies over the triple. As Carson West getting sideways and getting clipped by Caden Speck goes down. So resetting everything, it's Michael Mudge in the final transfer spot right now. Trevor Burns and Nick Sellen still back there. They're trying to fight their way forward. And you can see this is still very close. So any one of these riders, perhaps a crash in the whoops, could really shake things up here. Coming down to the whoops. These guys have got to get a good run. Jake Kazarian jumping through the whoops. Getting his Marvin Muscan on out here. We got a rider down. Oh, it's Alex Helms. Alex Helms goes down. And at least temporarily is going to lose a transfer spot. Right now, Trevor Burns has it in 9th. He's trying to get around Jake Kazarian, but Burns now going backwards. Look, we got 5 riders, and now Burns up the inside of Kazarian, goes up into 8th. You got a 5-rider train here for this final transfer spot. Battle, and Burns gets into the side of, I think that was Mudge, and goes down. So Kazarian now holds on to 8th, and Sellen moves up into 9th. Meanwhile, Pace and Johnson cruise to the victory out front, 10 seconds ahead of Lois Gorin. It's Verzaka 3rd, Robert Wilson 4th, Seth Carr here in 5th, Joe Wagner 6th, Kazarian now up to 7th. Alex Helms has moved up to 8th, and Cavacuti is 9th, and Burns just went off the track. We also had a rider down. I think it was Sellen, and Cavacuti slides out. Burns hits him, and they're stuck together here in the corner. It's going to be a drag race for 9th. Who can get the line consistently? Oh, it's Michael Mudge trying to go over top. He's going to get by him. Michael Mudge into the final transfer spot on the last straightaway. Sellen on the 16 trying to close up. It's going to be a drag race to the flag, and Mudge goes to the main event at Daytona over Sellen, Burns, Cavacuti, Speck, all just missing out. And we'll have to wait to see. Maybe cuts will affect it. Daniel Paz ends up 14th in this one. Ethan Olson, Seth Crotty, Carson West, Alex Heckman, Brett Thomas, and Alex Kerr missing out on this one. Boy, that is going to be close with cuts. So look at from 9th across the line back to 12th. They were separated by no more than 2 seconds on total time there. So it's really going to come down to cuts. They're close as Pace and Johnson just doing wheelies up and down through the fans right now. And here we go. Cuts about to come in. Let's see if anything changed. It was Mudge in 9th, and it stays Mudge in 9th. In fact, Trevor Burns, who had finished in 11th, lost a spot, but Mudge stays in 9th. Helms going through. Kazarian in 7th. Wagner 6th. Carr in 5th. Robert Wilson gets 4th. Verzaka in 3rd. Lois Gorin ends up second, and Payson Johnson busting wheelies up and down the speedway, taking the win here in 250 West heat number 2. Whew, quite the race there. All right, quick reminder to everybody still here. If you haven't joined already, please go ahead and sign up for the giveaway over at startyoursystems.com/giveaways, MotoOption clothing. You can win a MotoOption Spark Elite custom tee and swag pack, a black tee that features their Spark design in 2 colors on the front and your name and number in 2 colors on the back. You select the design color, and it'll be accented in white to really make it pop. This package also comes with a swag pack from MotoOption. Sign up over at startyoursystems.com/giveaways and win that prize pack. All right, 450 heat number 1 is coming up right now here in MX Simulator, and 450 Heat 1 tonight is going to be brought to you by MXS Lobby. MXS Lobby provides and sells quality MX Simulator servers with a custom dashboard and many requested features. MXS Lobby constantly evolves to what users want. Get one today and start racing with others. MXSLobby.com for those interested. It's a great place to own your own server, host your own races, or just have a place where you and your buddies can get online and throw down together. We are right now in an MXS Lobby server, racing the Pro Series in MX Simulator. So there you go. All right, 450 heat number 1 on the gate. Colton Mitchell, Tyler Lang, Dylan Copeland, Chase Blakely, Dennis Fjellberg, Braden Castellaneta, Jeremy Stiebold, the defending champion, William St. Laurent, Jordan Olson, Daniel Irvine, Kyle Carpenter, Jacob Hubbard, Craig Leake, Reed Young, Adam Holm, and what is his swan song here tonight, Nathan Prynn and Luke Sullivan. Looks like they are going to be lining up in this one. So star power galore, likely going to be in that second heat race, as the point standings are as follows: Leclerc, Lang, Carter, Haley, Fjellberg inside of the top 5. So we will see Lang and Fjellberg in this heat race, but it looks like Leclerc, Carter, and Haley going to be in that second one. And Lang here tonight is still looking for his first career 450 Supercross victory. Second in the points, only 10 points off the championship lead. No wins on the season, no career Supercross wins. So he is looking to right the ship here tonight and maybe win the Daytona Supercross in MX Simulator. Shout out to Travis Marks, aka Marks Dog, for the $20 donation. Thank you so much, Marks Dog. He donated $100 last week and $20 here tonight. Mark's Dog just paying for so many of my baby's diapers, so thank you. Appreciate that so much. And you rock. Though you wouldn't have to spend too much money if you just created MX Sim Fantasy. I think more people would be spending money there, and you can reap the benefits. Just saying. All right, 450 heat number 1 on the gate and ready to go. Here we go again in Daytona. Good jump from Mills. He's going to try to control around the outside, but up the inside, it's going to be Colton Mitchell on the number 6, getting the whole shot. Mitchell has won a main event earlier this year, but has been up and down this season, currently 9th in the championship standings. So Mitchell leads early on. Dennis Fjellberg right up here in second, the rider out of Norway. Jacob Hubbard jumping over from that 250 East Division to race here tonight. He's up in third. Lang right behind him, and here you can see these 450s jump up onto that table, and then they try to get to that second or third whoop in the whoop section by jumping out of the gator pit. And Hubbard going side by side with Fjellberg. They throw dualies over the wall jump. And Hubbard going to be able to get around the 3 machine and move up right into second as he's trying to run down Mitchell out front. Mitchell pulling up a little bit of a lead. It's been a rough season so far for Mitchell. Missed a main event at, I believe it was round 3 he missed a main event. And things haven't gotten much better since then. Up the inside, look at this move out of Hubbard for the lead. And there he goes, and Mitchell over the berm through the Davalos bales, and he's off the bike. Lang is going to cut on through on the 14. And here comes a whole host of other riders. Copeland, Sullivan going by. There is 21 of Blakely, so Mitchell does not lose a transfer spot, which is very rare when you crash on the first lap of the race. It was actually St. Laurent that went by, not Blakely, and St. Laurent's going to get sideways to try to get the ship righted here underneath the Supercross triple. Always dangerous there, but he does so cleanly, then jumps right back off the track, then jumps back on the track. It's all over the place here for the Canadian on the BPC number 45, but back out front, it is Hubbard leading the way on the number 11 SwapMotoLive.com ride. Sitting second in the 250 East Division standings behind Colby Eagland. Hubbard was able to win a race in that 250 West Division earlier this year and is playing a little bit of a spoiler here in the 450 class, obviously not being in the championship hunt. So trying to do what he can to maybe even sneak up onto the box here at Daytona, and a heat race win would help him immensely for a gate pick in the main event. Here is Lang, though, second in the championship behind Leclerc on the Moto Playground number 14. And he would do himself a big favor by winning this one as well and optimizing his gate pick. Leclerc and Haley and Carter all going to be in that second heat. So they are obviously going to throw down with each other. So Lang is going to like this heat race, the advantage he's getting from this one. Copeland holding off a close battle between Sullivan, Colton Mitchell up there in the mix, and Seth Garrett now around the outside on the MXS magazine. I think he's number 43, actually, but it looks like he's using someone else's bike on the 24. Then we got Fjellberg back here ahead of Chase Blakely, Kyle Carpenter, and I believe Braden Castellaneta right now is holding down the final transfer spot. Oh, Castellaneta cases, and here comes Adam Holm. He's going to jump over the downed rider. I think that was Copeland. So that will promote Holm into 10th. And he's trying to run down Castellaneta, who is in that final transfer spot. Oh, and Castellaneta up into the Davalos bales. He's stuck. So Holm slides on by. And remember, for those of you just joining us, Adam Holm is trying to make it into the main event tonight for what is essentially going to be maybe the last race of his career. He's going to not get the Supercross triple here and lose a couple spots, but Holm going to take some indefinite leave from playing MX Simulator. Longtime front runner in this game. Narrowly lost a championship in the outdoor season in 2018. Castellaneta, oh my gosh, what a save. I don't know how he kept that thing corralled underneath of him, but Nathan Prynn goes by for second, and Prynn finished second last week at Orlando after winning the Houston 3 Supercross on a 250. Then he was out for a couple weeks there, based in France, so he said work was taking up too much of his time, couldn't quite get up there. How about Siebold on the 1 coming around the outside, and he might get a 2-for pass, as he's also going to get around Holm. Prynn made a mistake, so Siebold scoots on by. Meanwhile, up front, battle. We got dualies over the finish line jump, and Lang trying to go for the lead on Hubbard. He's going to get it after the finish line jump. So Tyler Lang, he means business here tonight, and trying to pick up that first career win right into the race lead of this heat, and a big whip over the triple to assert his dominance over Jacob Hubbard, who falls back into second. Mitchell still runs in third. It's Sullivan up into fourth. Dylan Copeland here running inside the top 5. Seth Garrett still running back here in 6th. Going to jump off the track there a little bit. Chase Blakely runs 7th. Castellaneta is in 8th. And Fjellberg now finds himself in 9th. But here is that battle behind these guys. Prynn, Siebold, Holm coming together. They are 10, 11, 12. Oh, Prynn throwing it down in front of Siebold. So Siebold's trying to close up, make a pass here on the 42. 42 tripling up on and off, going to get right up here behind Fjellberg, who's going to get the better drive into the whoops. They're both kind of hopping. They're side by side, the teammates. I think Siebold, oh, he saved it. I thought he was going down. He was completely sideways in the whoops, but he ends up going around the tunnel jump there. Prynn alongside Fjellberg is going to get the pass done. Now Fjellberg under attack immediately from Holm and Siebold, as Holm trying to jump around the outside here. Siebold going up the inside. Inside option for the 1. Remember, Siebold last time through went around the outside here in the sand to make a pass on both these guys. Holm down on the back of Fjellberg there. Siebold trying that outside line again. Not able to get the same drive he did last time. And this is just a battle for 10th, because it's still Castellaneta holding down the final transfer spot. Nathan Prynn has now moved up into the 8th spot. Castellaneta goes for the triple. Wow, I did not think he's going to get that with the angle he took into it, but able to pull it around. Oh, Siebold almost through the front door. So things not going exactly swimmingly right now for Adam Holm, and what might be his last career MX Sim race tonight. Up the inside, Fjellberg trying to get a line on Castellaneta. Definitely closed it down. These 450s, they can kind of like tire tap, go a little bit over that single and then tap onto the face of the second jump into the Supercross triple, where the 250s cannot, and it costs them a lot of time to roll and then get the power up to double over that and then get set up for the Supercross triple. So going outside and tripling over seems to be the optimal line for the 250s, but I think inside in that corner and then kind of like plowing into the face of the second jump, doubling down for the 450s, looks like it might be the preferred option for these guys. It's not to say you can't make that outside line work, as Fjellberg makes a mistake and Seabolt going to capitalize. So Castellaneta still holding these guys behind, as a couple former champions battled out for 10th right now. White flag is waving out front. Still Lang leading this thing. All eyes right now on this battle. We're trying to see Seabolt and maybe Fjellberg sneak into this main event. Prin has pulled away from Castellaneta, so the 63 Moto Playground effort putting on one heck of a ride to keep two of the game's best riders behind him. Up and over the finish line jump. Looks like Seabolt just went down, so yes, he did. Holm is going to move back by him. And barring a disaster, it's going to be down to Castellaneta and Fjellberg to settle it for this final transfer spot. Oh, Castellaneta a little short. Not going to get the triple. Here comes Fjellberg trying to jump over top. He's going to get it for sure. Castellaneta completely blew that, so Fjellberg on the 3 going to go by. Castellaneta trying to shoot back up the inside. Oh, and there's contact, and Fjellberg goes down, but not off the bike. I don't know how Castellaneta stayed up there, and he's going to get a great drive through the whoops here and close up on Luke Sullivan, who's getting up from a crash, so it's all kind of kicking off here now. Meanwhile, out front, Lang just went down on the last lap and coughs up the race win. So Lang going to be kicking himself a little bit there, but Hubbard will gladly take that one as he's going to scoot on by, throw a nice whip over the triple for the fans and bring it down. Jacob Hubbard, winner. 450 heat, number 1. Lang off the track again. Got to be careful. It might lose a spot to Mitchell. Well, Mitchell just went down as well. Mitchell going right here in front of Blakely, and Blakely's going to triple on by him. Mitchell's trying to fight back here. And Blakely's got the preferred line, or no, does he not? It's going to be dualies over the triple drag race to the finish. Who's going to get it bar to bar? Mitchell down. Blakely crosses the line 3rd. Mitchell trying to get up as those guys swing by. That was Seth Garrett and Copeland. Mitchell trying to get up the line. He'll get up in 6th. Sullivan looks like he's got 7th. Prin 8th. And Fjellberg did indeed get by for 9th. Adam Holm just misses out in 10th. Castellaneta 11th. And Seabolt, the defending champion, also on his way to the last chance qualifier in 12th. Daniel Mills 13th. Kyle Carpenter was 14th in this one. Jordan Olson, Daniel Irvine, Chase Donovan, Reed DeYoung, Craig Leake, and William St. Laurent did not make it through out of this one either, so they're heading to that last chance qualifier. As we await for cuts to come in, but he'll take the gift any day of the week, as Hubbard taking the win here in 450 heat number 1. Ooh, look at him sending the wall jump. I wonder if that's a line that Leclerc is going to be doing. Oftentimes when these guys can almost do something at random, there's someone like a Leclerc or even a Jack Haley who can do it consistently, which is ridiculous. All right, so still waiting for those cuts to come in. We're waiting on Reed Young to cross the line, but he's bringing it down, getting sauced over the triple. He's going to go down. Might get a kick now just because we're waiting on him. We're going to see, man, Fjellberg and Castellaneta and Holmes so close together on times. So let's see. Here comes Young over the finish line. And it stays. Fjellberg goes through in 9th. Prin 8th. Sullivan 7th. Mitchell 6th. Copeland jumps to 4th around Seth Garrett, but it's still Blakely 3rd, Lang 2nd, and Hubbard taking the win here in 450 heat number 1. Not a problem. Nick Sellen, who just joined chat, says he's wearing 16 because he uses it for RFEU. He doesn't have skins. So as long as no one else is running 16 in the class, I don't particularly care that much. So appreciate you just clearing that up. All right, we still got 15 minutes for you guys to be able to join the MotoOption Clothing giveaway here tonight. MotoOption Clothing giving away a Spark Elite custom tee and swag pack, a black tee that features their Spark design in 2 colors on the front and your name and number in 2 colors on the back. You select the design and color, and it will be accented in white to really make it pop. This prize also comes with a swag pack from MotoOption Clothing. StartYourSystems.com/giveaways. There is still 14 minutes left for you to get on board and join that giveaway. Winner will be selected probably after the LCQs or maybe in the middle of the LCQs. And then the winner will be contacted by MotoOption. Well, I think actually by Jeremy Cohenauer of Race Factory Gaming, and then eventually by MotoOption. But definitely, you guys want to join up on that. Thank you so much to Justin Karen and Sir Lose-A-Lots, I think is his official name, but Spooby in chat for continuing to post that link for me. You guys are the bomb diggity. All right, 450 heat number 2 out here on the track. Here is your current points leader, 2018 Supercross champion Alexis Leclerc, rider out of France on the Arminus Jasikonis Originals Kawasaki. We got Joseph Pilsner out here. He's repping a 2-stroke, ladies and gentlemen. The Masters of MX.com number 48 out here on the RM250. Looking like a young Travis Pastrana out here. Casey Cochran, Sean Klein also out here. Seth Shirley. There is Jack Haley, the 2019 champ and 3-time winner this year, but currently sitting 4th in the points, 26 points down after missing a main event a few rounds ago. Tyus Janis, Jeremy Cohenauer, Byron Downen, Braden Carter. We've got 3 former champions of this 450 class in this race, and the current 250 East points leader, Colby Eaglin, also in this one. Aaron Rockefeller, Bobby DeSalle, Caleb Hall, Luke Magnetti, and Jeremy Schiabro all going to be in this one. Chris Post wants another interview with Wilson Fleming. Hey, you know what? I would actually be very happy to play MX Sim with Wilson Fleming and get him some SYS love, because I think not a lot of people read the privateer profile on Racer X, which is unfortunate. I think we're trying to give some privateers some love, like Wilson Fleming, and not everybody reads that. It's not our hugest feature at Racer X, but I would love to pump him up here on SYS. Someone who plays sim, races in real life. Always love giving a shout out to that. So, yeah, maybe we'll hit old Flem Dog up and do some sim. Maybe after the season, though. All right, 450 heat number 2, ready to go. And we are underway. Only top 9 go through, and you can see a couple guys electing not even to go for it in the first corner. Some contact, and it's going to be Leclerc and Carter coming together. Leclerc, and everybody's down in the second corner. Oh, I've never seen that before. Carter, who collided with Leclerc to kind of start that whole thing, gets out with the race lead. And it's Carter from the 2-stroke of Pilsner. Actually, it's Downen, the 2014 champ, who's going to move temporarily in a second. But Pilsner around the outside. I cannot believe how many riders just went down in that second corner. This isn't a red flag, is it? Okay, no, we're live. This is going good here. I've never seen that before. And Carter with the lead just went down. So Pilsner on the 2-stroke out front in Daytona, bringing the old vibes back out here. Love to see it. And he's leading the way from Jeremy Cohenauer. Cohenauer trying to jump through to the inside. Cohenauer temporary to the lead. Pilsner trying to fight back, and it's Cohenauer up into the front. Cohenauer now lays it down. Pilsner gets hung up, and now the 2014 champ Byron Downen goes to the race lead. Downen on the 323, a rider who has not done a whole lot of Race Factory Gaming racing in the last maybe 4 years since he won his championship in 2014. Kind of took it off after that, and now he goes to the race lead. Casey Cochran got sideways in second. That is the real-life Casey Cochran on the Moto Playground Gas. Oh, and down goes Carter. He got bumped out of the way by Leclerc. I don't know if that was intentional on Leclerc. Leclerc maybe not happy with the move that Carter put on the second corner, but it also seemed like Leclerc was a tad aggressive. So now Leclerc is side by side with Jack Haley, who both of them have a bit of a rivalry this year. This is ridiculous. How many guys have gone down on the first lap and we're one lap into this thing? Looks like these races have been going roughly 5 laps, I think. Is Leclerc going to try to shoot up the inside on Haley? They're going to be about side by side over the triple. Let's see if they throw dualies. Not that cool. Could have been bigger. Haley could have thrown harder for sure. Leclerc got a little kick out though, but Leclerc going to be able to go by now, and Casey Cochran goes to the race lead. So it's Cochran from Downen. Casey Ohlert trying to go by for second, and he might even be going for the race lead. Look at Casey Ohlert on the 78, side by side with Cochran launching the wall jump, and Leclerc sneaking up into the picture. He almost lands on Ohlert, and there's 3 wide coming into this corner. Who's going to get the lead? Ohlert up the inside, goes to the lead around Cochran, and now side by side, Cochran trying to get him back up the inside. What a race here. 450 heat number 2. Look at Leclerc to the inside for the race lead, gets a 2-for-1 pass, and Haley trying to get by on the outside for third. What is happening in this heat race right now? Absolute insane battling, and now Leclerc goes down and takes Haley and Cochran with him. Downen has to go around the outside, and Ohlert has gone to the lead. Downen getting back on alongside Leclerc, and Leclerc jumps back by Downen, now goes back into second. Here comes Carter. He's trying to move around Downen for third. Unbelievable action. Now Leclerc almost goes down, and Downen is going to jump back by him for second. Holy smokes, this racing is intense. And it's now Downen leading the race. We must have lost the race leader. What is happening right now? Okay, so resetting things. It's Downen from Leclerc. Carter's up here. We got Jack Haley battling it out. He's got Colby Eaglin right behind him. Haley gives a nudge to Carter, and then Haley goes down. And now here comes Leclerc for the lead on Downen. He's got it. Downen's still trying to fight back up the inside, but Leclerc, at least for the moment, because this race has been ridiculous, Leclerc now has the race lead, and down. Oh, Leclerc goes down in the whoops. Just as I say, we're getting settled down here, and now Carter gets around Downen, so he goes back to the race lead. Unbelievable. We got another rider down. That's Colby Eaglin. He went down over the tunnel jump. So Leclerc goes back by, and look at everybody going by. Pilsner is still in a transfer spot on the 2-stroke. Casey Ohlert just went down on the wall jump. Matthias Janis now finds himself right in the middle of all this. And Pilsner's just, unbeknownst to him, everybody going down, and he is still in a transfer spot on the 2-stroke. So it's Carter leading the race. Down and now second. DeSelle up into third. Leclerc is fourth. Janis back in fifth. Ohlert now finds himself in 6th. Pilsner on the 2-stroke. Well, he just moved up to 6th around Ohlert. Eaglin now up to 7th. Ohlert must be going backwards, or he went down or something. Everybody getting shuffled around. So it's Carter from now DeSelle, and DeSelle just went down. So Downen goes back around Bobby DeSelle. Here comes Matthias Janis. He's going to go by for 3rd. DeSelle trying to get going, but Ohlert is going to jump by him for 4th. Now DeSelle back to 5th. It's Pilsner in 6th alongside Colby Eaglin. And who's that behind him? That's Caleb Hall. Leclerc behind these guys as Eaglin gets around Pilsner. Unbelievable action. And there comes Leclerc at the back of this group on the 7th. So he is in a transfer spot in 9th. He's got Schiabro, Magnetti, and Klein closing up behind him. And Leclerc coming a bit unglued right now, but also Jack Haley's not in a transfer spot. Caleb Hall goes down. Leclerc moves up into 7th around Pilsner. Jack Haley's back in 13th spot. He's at the very back of this group right now, and Leclerc is sneaking away at the front. Oh my goodness. All right. Have we caught our breath just yet? It's still Carter leading this thing as Downen still holds on to 2nd. That's Ohlert down under the tunnel. So Schiabro goes by. A terrible good job of getting up there by Ohlert. He gets up sideways, takes down Pilsner and Haley. And Sean Klein also got caught up a little bit with that. So Ohlert trying desperately to hold on to the final transfer spot. May have just earned himself a penalty. Cannot rejoin the race like that. That's for sure. So he's got to be mindful of that in the future. He's going to go around Schiabro for 8th. And here comes Klein battling through for 9th. That is a change of the transfer spot. Now Cochran gets hung up with Haley. And there is Caleb Hall. Pilsner trying to sneak by, but Haley is all kinds of hung up. And there's Cohenauer as well. ridiculous action, and Haley still has so much work to do if he wants to make this main event. Oh, he just went down again. That's probably the end of Haley's chances in this heat race. Okay, so deep breath. Let's reset it. Still Braden Carter leading this thing. Looks like he might be on his way to a race victory. Look at the wheelie all the way through the whoops. Braden Carter, boy, he might be locked in tonight, and that's dangerous news for everybody else. Oh, he's going to 180 fakie out on the wall jump. That was not on purpose at all. Got a little cross jumped. But he is, or cross rutted, I should say, not cross jumped. But still got a 5-second lead on Downen, who I know will be very excited to just make the main event. Colby Eaglin's closing up on him. Matthias Janis runs a lonely 4th ahead of Bobby DeSelle in 5th. Luke Magnetti is 6th. Leclerc is 7th. Sean Klein right behind him in the 8th spot. And Ohlert still holds on to 9th. And that looks like the gap is pretty well stabilized over Schiabro and then Pilsner. So it looks like it's pretty well sorted out. We'll see how it comes down to the finish line here through this final rhythm section. But unofficially, at least right now, oh, Carter quad single there at the end of the rhythm lane. Absolutely flying right now. And Braden Carter going to bring it down and take the win here in 450 Heat 2. The most action-packed heat race I think I've ever seen ends in a very undramatic finish. Eaglin crosses 2nd ahead of Downen in the end. Janis will come across here in the 4th spot. Luke Magnetti looks like he's got 5th place pretty well sewn up. Bobby DeSelle going to outdrag Leclerc for 6th. Leclerc ends up 7th. Klein will be 8th. And Ohlert going to take it easy through the whoops here to end up in 9th. Schiabro, Pilsner, Cohenauer, Cochran, Haley, Shirley, Hall, Rockefeller, Bear, and West and Tiberino not going to the main event out of this one. So that is going to be Jack Haley and Jeremy Siebold, your 2 most recent Supercross champions in the Last Chance qualifier. And Adam Holm also going to be there. This is going to be a stacked LCQ. Whew! That racing was insane. And in the end, it'll be Braden Carter holding off everybody to win this thing, and one rider still across the finish line. We'll wait for those cuts, but it looks like it is all solid, and it is indeed Carter confirmed from Eaglin, Downen, Janis, Magnetti inside the top 5, DeSelle, Leclerc, Klein, and Ohlert going to the main event. All right, heat racing is done, but real quick, last chance, if anybody wants to get on board, giveaway ends here any minute now. We've got just under 2 minutes left on the giveaway here tonight. The MotoOption t-shirt and swag pack. Join the giveaway over at startyoursystems.com/giveaways. We'll do that giveaway probably after the LCQs, I think. I'm going to wait till both LCQs are complete before we show the winner. Get on board of that. Time running out any second here now. Whew. All right, want to give a big thanks to everybody here who is in chat tonight. Appreciate every single one of you guys showing up and enjoying the racing action. Absolutely insane night of racing. That 450 heat race was unbelievable. Okay, so 250 last chance qualifier coming up right now. And this 250 last chance qualifier is going to be brought to you by OG El Paco on Twitch. It's a Twitch streamer that's his name is Ty, and streams in his free time. A proud sponsor of Race Factor Gaming. Says feel free to stop by and hang out anytime. OG El Paco on Twitch, proud sponsor here this year of Race Factor Gaming, and he brings you this 250 last chance qualifier from Daytona. It's max entries, so as many people can join. Oh, you only are allowed to enter once, but yeah, time has already expired on that. So if you missed out, sorry, but time now expired on that giveaway. So we'll announce the winner here shortly. Whoops. Trying to get a couple things sorted here. Alrighty. Quick Disco Rico to get back in for the 250 LCQ. Jeff Giffen, Dylan Cavacuti, Neil Wells, Trevor Burns, Jeremy Estrella, Alex Heckman, Nathan Guy, Daniel Paz, Trent Adams, Brandon Holmes, Jack Fowler, Seth Crotty, Trevin Thompson, Brett Thomas, Elliot Person. Tanner Rogers is in this one. When did he go through in this one? I did not see him not make the main event, so that's a big one here. Tanner Rogers, last week's winner. So that is one to watch for sure in this one. Red plate holder in a last chance qualifier. Always interesting to see how things shape up. It's got a pretty decent gate pick. Maybe wanted to be a little bit more inside than that, but if he can get a good jump, he'll control it. So this is a moment of truth championship-wise for Tanner Rogers as the board turns sideways, and we're set to go 250 LCQ at Daytona. Does get a good jump. Looks like he is going to control it. Rogers, hole shot. Up the inside, though, Caden Speck trying to get back by, and he will hold it, though. Rogers from Speck, Trevin Thompson, Elliot Person up here. Oh, contact in the second turn. A couple guys getting held up. Thompson lost a few spots. Daniel Paz got by. Holy smokes, Elliot Person with the scrub of a lifetime gets around Caden Speck. So it's Rogers, Person, Speck, and Paz inside of the top four right now. Remember, only 4 riders go through in this last chance qualifier, and it's a quick race too, especially because of the long lap times on this track. Only going to be a 5-minute plus 1 lap race. Might honestly only be 4 laps in this race, just like the old LCQs used to be. Daniel Paz jumping over and gets around Elliot Person, who goes down. That promotes Brandon Holmes into the final transfer spot, but Holmes goes off the track a little bit there, so Trevin Thompson closing up a little bit. Some guys going at it in the background. Elliot Person, Thompson, Olsen, Cooper Hunt, all in a bit of a train there. Still Brandon Holmes in the final transfer spot. We got Nathan Guy back here, Trent Adams. Oh, tons of riders going down there in the split. That's going to cost a lot of people a chance at maybe making it into the main event. But right now, smooth sailing for Tanner Rogers on the SwapMotoLive.com number 22 out front. This is going to be very big for Rogers to try to just put consistent, smooth laps in. It's never a good thing to go to the LCQ, but the positive that you can take from it is you get a little bit more track time in a race situation. You can play the track while in warm-up mode, or you can just straight up leave the server if you've already made the main event and go play it in single player, but you really don't get the same kind of feel of how much the track develops and changes with the road system without actually being in a race doing it. So he's getting some valuable information right now while leading this thing. He's just got to try to keep it on 2 wheels. And we saw last week a couple guys that were in the LCQ, Devin Davis and Tyron Tomic, ending up 4th and 3rd respectively in the main event. So it's not impossible to go through the LCQ and not make it up towards the front, and maybe even win the main event. But Rogers at this point just needs to limit damage as much as possible. If Payson Johnson's going to get the win here tonight, Rogers has to at least get on the box. Keep things a little bit close. So Rogers looking like he is in cruise control out front, and good thing for him, a lot of battling is going on behind him. It's Caden Speck in 2nd, Daniel Paz in 3rd, and Brandon Holmes in 4th. Your top 4 has opened up a nice gap for the time being. It's Elliot Person right now in 5th. And then Nathan Guy right behind him in 6th. Looks like Nathan Guy might be the one on the move of these 2 riders. And it's going to come down to who can make the least amount of mistakes out front in this group. 8-second lead for Rogers. And plenty of time, 18 seconds back to not transferring for Rogers, so he can probably put his brain a little bit at ease, and time will most definitely expire before this lap is over. So white flag coming out next time by. It is going to be a full-fledged 4-lap race. Nathan Guy losing a little bit of ground. Here comes Alex Kerr, and around Elliott Person they go. So they're up to 5th and 6th now, respectively, are Nathan Guy and Alex Kerr, as Elliott Person made a little bit of a mistake there. Oh, getting the huckabucks. You never like to see it, and Kerr goes down, so likely just cost himself a chance at making it to the main event. Oh, and Nathan Guy goes down. So Brandon Holmes gonna like what he's seeing behind him at this point, because the gap is opening as each corner goes by at this point. Everybody keeps crashing back in 5th. Rogers out front just cruising. And, oh, I apologize. I forgot that time will expire at the 5-minute mark. So, yeah, this is actually going to be a 5-lap race, not a 4-lap race. So time just expired right now. And you see Rogers is already a couple corners into this lap. So Rogers trying to put it in cruise control out front. Battle for second still brewing a little bit. Daniel Paz and Caden Speck has Brandon Holmes right behind him. A little 3-rider pack. But I think all these guys at this point are just trying to not go down. Well, Speck looks like he might still be sending it a little bit. Last thing you want to do, though, is crash while in a transfer spot and then not make the main event. You'll just kick yourself forever. Thinking if you just take it a little bit easier, Speck tucks the front wheel and goes down, so Holmes going to swing around the outside of him and continue on. Speck is going to get up still in a transfer spot, but that gap has come down now. Elliott Person will suddenly be able to see Caden Speck up the road a little bit and know that it's going to be a lot closer than it was. Well, he just makes another big mistake. Oh, Trevor Burns wheeling his way through the sand. So white flag is waving. Trevor Burns trying to close up on Elliott Person. Oh, Speck down out of 4th. I don't know what happened. Must have tucked the front wheel. He's going to get up right in the thick of this battle, but he's backwards, unfortunately. So Person and Burns will battle it out for the final transfer spot. Burns with a great drive, gets that triple. Person a little bit short. Here comes Trevor Burns. Does he go for it right now or does he wait? He's going to wait. He's going to cut back underneath, and it's going to maybe come down to a drive in the whoops. Person with the cross jump and takes Trevor Burns down. I guess you could call that a strategy, though. Just cross jump the guy behind you and make it impossible for him to go by you. They've closed up on Daniel Paz now a little bit, and Brandon Holmes is in second. I mean, this is, other than Rogers, who is in cruise control out front, this race is far from over for everybody else. Holmes, Paz, and Person in transfer spots. Seth Crotty, Caden Speck trying to close up. Speck just went down. Burns trying to cut up underneath. Neil Wells. Meanwhile, Rogers goes to the main event with the win. Holmes, Paz, holding on. So Elliott Person's just got to get one straightaway clean here. He's not going to get the preferred line, but I think he's doing that maybe on purpose. Well, goes for the alternate option. And, oh, he's down! Elliott Person down on the last straightaway. It's going to cost him a transfer spot. There goes Trevor Burns. Karma in the end, and Burns gets the bike hump off over the triple and goes to the main event. Person, who cross-jumped Trevor Burns to hold on to the spot, gets the main event spot as Elliott Person, with literally a football field's distance of a straightaway to go, goes down and does not make the main event at Daytona. He is going to be kicking himself. Jeremy Estrella crosses in 7th. Still Elliott Person DNFing this one, so everybody going by Alex Heckman with the corked out 540 something or whatever. So Cooper Hunt ends up in 8th. Alex Heckman will finish in 9th. Brett Thomas will be 10th after he gets by Elliott Person. Trevin Thompson, 11th. Caden Speck does not finish this race. Carson West, we'll wait for him to finish. Jack Fowler, Alex Kerr, Nathan Guy, Ethan Olson, Dylan Cavacuti, Trent Adams, and Jeff Giffen also did not finish the race. Carson West just having a field day through this last rhythm section. So we're waiting on those cuts, but it's, well, I mean, it's possible Burns had enough cuts for Seth Crotty 1.3 seconds back to get by. Waiting on that one rider still to finish. And boom, confirmed Burns goes through with Daniel Paz, Holmes, and Rogers. So Rogers breathing a big sigh of relief right here that he made it through relatively no problems in this one. Obviously fastest lap time by about a second on everybody else. Look at that tunnel jump to, oh, I thought he was going to land that. But he will be breathing a very big sigh of relief that he's at least in the main event, though gate pick much more crucial this week than at almost any other round because that inside is so OP if you get a good jump. You need to almost time the gate from the outside to get the whole shot in this one. So Rogers makes it through, and now this 450 LCQ is about to be absolutely ridiculous. There is so many big names. Jeremy Siebold, Jack Haley, Adam Holm, all going to be in this last chance qualifier, and this LCQ is going to be brought to you by Phil's Ski and Snowboard. Phil's Ski and Snowboard is your one-stop shop for all things ski and snowboard. They have over 35 years of industry experience, along with a youthful and knowledgeable staff, giving you the best experience you can find in Orange County. Whether it's tune-ups and repairs, seasonal leaves, retail, or just giving information on the latest and greatest equipment, they are here to make sure you get the most out of your winter. Phil's Ski and Snowboard. Check them out. Thanks so much for sponsoring Race Factor Gaming this year. And they will bring you this LCQ in the 450 class. We'll announce the winner of the giveaway. The MotoOption giveaway will be announced after this last chance qualifier. So buckle up your seatbelts, people. This LCQ is about to be absolutely ridiculous. Adam Holm, in what could be his last career race, trying to make the main event out of the LCQ. You have your two most recent Supercross champions. Jeremy Siebold, winner in 2020. Jack Haley, 2019 champ, in this LCQ right now. Oh, this is going to be insane. And if that heat race we saw earlier is any indication, not only is this LCQ going to be ridiculous, but the main event might be one of the best all year. And we're going to find out who can make it through. Reed Young, Kyle Carpenter, Daniel Irvine, Jack Haley, Jordan Olson, Adam Holm, Kyle Carpenter, Jeremy Schiavro, Seth Shirley, Jake West, Aaron Rockefeller, Joseph Pilsner, Caleb Hall, Daniel Mills, Jeremy Siebold. Who is going to win the 450 LCQ at Daytona? And who is going home to enjoy this one from the stream, from the semi, wherever they're hanging out? Going to be some very, very unhappy people. Big names, and certainly a lot of guys. There's more than 4 guys in this race that would be upset if they didn't make the main event. Like, I mean, obviously everyone's not going to be happy if they don't make the main, but would legitimately be like, I just ruined my season if they don't make the main event here. So it's going to come down to some serious tension for these transfer spots. Haley, Siebold, Holm, Mills, Castellaneta, Cohenauer, Pilsner, you name it, they're here. It's the 450 last chance qualifier right now at Daytona. Kohenauer on the 20, gets the whole shot. He's got Siebold right there. Casey Cochran up the inside. Siebold down in the second corner. Unfortunate contact there. Takes Siebold down. It's going to be Adam Holm going to the lead in Daytona. Trying to win the LCQ in his final race of 2020. I should say. It's Holm, Cochran, Kohenauer up front. Mills right there. Haley's trying to go up the right side in the whoop section. Cochran's getting sideways. Haley's trying to go by for second. And he's going to get it. Well, at least he's still side by side with Cochran. Going to get the downside here. Jump up and then close right up on Holm. So Holm and Haley are in a good spot. Now Siebold is going to have a lot of work to do here. Still haven't seen him come by on our timing and scoring just yet. He's in 11th, is Jeremy Siebold right now. Haley, a little mistake actually, allowing Casey Cochran to at least keep it close. Kohenauer also trying to show a wheel as Holmes just trying to get away out front. Haley goes triple, and then triple-double out of this rhythm lane. That caused him to go down earlier when he tried to quad in there. Oh, rider down. That was Donovan, and Donovan just got up really sideways and fortunately didn't take more riders with him, but Siebold able to go through. Rider down. That is Cochran, I believe. Yeah, Casey Cochran just crashed out of a transfer spot, so things are opening up a little bit for Siebold. It's still Holm, Haley, Kohenauer in the top three. Mills now finds himself in 4th. Austin Bear off the side of the track is going to lose the 5 spot to Siebold, or the 6 spot, I should say. No, that is the 5 spot. I apologize. So Siebold up to 5th. He's got to try to run down Daniel Mills. Oh, he's already sideways in the whoops. So can Siebold close this gap down? We'll go on board with the defending champ and see if he can run down the number 15 machine, the Jack Daniels Racing ride of Daniel Mills. Mills actually catching Kohenauer, so this might turn into a 3-rider battle for 3rd. Over the tunnel jump they go, and definitely Siebold is closing this gap down quite quickly. But the question is, if he makes the pass, can he stay on 2 wheels? Because that has been Siebold's kryptonite this year. He's just made far, far too many mistakes. Gets that triple quad line, then singles up, but Mills got it as well. Kohenauer opens up a bit of a gap, so it's still pretty close up here. Double through the rollers. Ooh, Siebold slips the rear end out a little bit, trying to go up the inside here. Mills around the outside, triples over. Those lines end up pretty even. You can still see Kohenauer just off the distance, and your 2 race leaders go in the other direction. Haley has taken over the race lead from Adam Holm. To the whoops they go. Siebold, a little out of shape. Nice job of correcting it. He's going to close up on Mills here. Trying to go for the jump to flat to pull alongside. Mills trying to shut the door again into the wall jump. Siebold gets the scrub down the backside. That's going to be enough for the spot. Mills trying to fight back up the inside, but Siebold moves into 4th, at least temporarily. Mills back up the inside, tries to get a nose, but Siebold holds it on around the outside to hold on for 4th. Now can he hold the position? That is the final transfer spot to the main event out of this LCQ, and Siebold occupies it, trying to go after Kohenauer now perhaps for 3rd. Still Haley out front. Adam Holm in 2nd. And Kohenauer runs in 3rd. And Siebold in 4th. I mean, Siebold has not exactly dropped. Oh, Daniel Mills just went down, so there you go. That is going to definitely separate the field at this point. As now Cochran moves up into 5th, but he's got a long road up to the race lead. Still at the point, though, where if Siebold goes down, or Kohenauer, or really anybody out front, that Cochran could probably capitalize on it. So can Siebold close up and make a pass on Kohenauer, or is he going to be content to settle in? I mean, Cochran He's back there still. He is going to be lurking if these guys make any mistakes. Little sideways there from Kohenauer. Seabolt trying to just make a pass quickly on Kohenauer and go by him. Going to go down the backside here again. Inside this time for Seabolt, who was using those outsides to get a little bit more drive down the sand. Then swing through that deep rut there on the inside and go back the other direction. You can see these guys trying to get the rear wheel down and just carry that speed. Kind of like Mad Skills Motocross, you don't want that front tire on the ground through the sand. But this is just a battle for third, so these guys are in transfer spot. And it kind of comes down to if you just want that buffer. So if you were to make a mistake and go down, do you want the ability to have someone behind you still? As they all go around Adam Holm, who drops back to fourth. So this is a three-rider battle for third suddenly. It seems like the gaps have opened up a little bit. Seabolt, Holm back here, but then Cochran, he's still back here. These guys just cannot go down. Holm back up the inside of Seabolt is going to get around him for the 3 spot. And Haley going the other direction has pretty much got this thing locked up out front. It's going to boil down to these guys. Holm trying to take it easy. Seabolt trying to make a pass perhaps on Holm. Holm electing to jump through the whoops, which I think tells you a lot about what these whoops are looking like already for this LCQ. And Holm just trying to take it easy, not go down. Seabolt still right here behind Kohenauer. Going to go outside here. Whew. Rider going the other way, almost might have collected Holm if there's a little bit closer of an angle. Seabolt again closing right up onto Kohenauer. And Cochran is still back there, but man, he's just going to run out of time at this point. These guys running a pretty flawless and consistent race ahead. So Seabolt gets around Kohenauer and makes that pass stick finally, but it's Jack Haley winning the 450 LCQ. Nice air wheelie to boot. Seabolt looks like he'll wrap up second. Kohenauer third, and what will be his swan song for 2021, Adam Holm goes to the main event at Daytona. Casey Cochran just missed it out in fifth, 5 seconds down in the end. Jordan Olson, Kyle Carpenter, Austin Bear, Chase Donovan, Caleb Hall, Joseph Pilsner, Jeremy Schiabro, Seth Shirley, William St. Laurent, Daniel Irvine, Craig League, Daniel Mills, Aaron Rockefeller, Jake West, Braden Castaneda, Reed Young, all in this one. To be honest with you, it would have been a very interesting race without the fast guys out front. You got 3 guys, or I should say 4 guys at the front of the field who possess career numbers. And everybody's sub 20 in those numbers. 2 former champions. So Haley, Seabolt, Kohenauer, and Holm pretty much confirmed. We're just waiting on pretty much everybody else to wrap it up here. We'll get those cuts and then announce our Moto Option contest winner for the night. 624 people here. I don't know, maybe you guys are here for the competition, or the giveaway, I should say. Maybe you guys are here just because you want to watch these main events. One rider still to come across, and we'll get those cuts confirmed. There we go, cuts in, and everything confirmed. Haley, the winner here tonight. All right, let's go ahead and pick ourselves a winner. We'll go to the intermission screen, and you guys can see me here picking a winner. So we'll pick a winner from the contest. And here we go, picking a winner. I said pick winner, and now it's like generate winner. Okay. So, here we go. And the winner is hold on. There we go. Thomas Vosen. Thomas Vosen, Vohsen. I'm not going to give away your email, but it's the Moose F guy email. So Thomas Vosen, congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and clip a screenshot of this so that I don't forget it. But Thomas Vosen, you are the winner tonight of the MotoOption hoodie giveaway. So thank you so much for playing, and appreciate everybody else who also tuned in and played here tonight. Sorry if you didn't win, but hey, it's a giveaway, so be happy for the people that did get a chance to play and win. And yeah, Thomas Vosen, congratulations on winning the MotoOption giveaway. So back in studio here right now, getting ready to go for the main events here at Daytona. Round number 2 of the 250 West Championship coming up, and then we'll have round 9 of the 250 or the 450 class coming up after that. So let's jump back in and take a look. Logan Walker has a question. What's your question, Logan? Alrighty. It's main event time at Daytona. Get revved up. All right, second round of the season for the 250 West class ready to go here. Got to get a quick disconnect and reconnect. And unless Tanner Rogers can go 2 for 2 to start the season, we are going to have a first-time winner here in this 250 West division. Robert Wilson, Payson Johnson, Daniel Paz, Trevor Burns, John Heilman, Lane Wofford. They're all out here. Ethan Gers, Jake Kazarian, Tanner Rogers, Alex Helms, Brandon Nygren, Joe Wagner, Jaden Wilson, Frank Jackson, Kevin Verzaka, and Lois Gorin all going for supremacy in the 250 main event here at Daytona. Yeah, your question is that why did I say when they're going through the sand that they're trying to mad skills motocross it? Because in mad skills motocross, the fastest way is to keep the front wheel off the ground. No matter if there's no sand sections in mad skills motocross, but you don't want the front wheel on the ground to drag you down. Same concept in the sand section for these guys tonight. They're trying to wheelie all the way through that sand section, keep the rear tire down, but the front tire up so they don't have that drag. So that's the comparison to mad skills motocross. It's just the finesse, keeping that rear tire down and the front wheel up that I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Second round of the 250 West Championship lined up and ready to go. It's the Daytona Supercross live on Starter Systems. Let's drop that gate. Huge jump out of the 59. The 59 is going to get the whole shot easily. Kevin Verzaka, whole shot and crash as John Heilman goes right to the race lead. Payson Johnson out front early as well, and Johnson's going to jump around the outside of Heilman, and Johnson out front at Daytona. Heilman right behind him in second. Going to try to shoot back up the inside perhaps, but it's Payson Johnson out front, and that is a dangerous proposition for the rest of the field. Man, Kevin Verzaka, talk about kicking himself after getting that whole shot. Johnson sideways, Johnson down. Oh, and he's up. He stayed on 2 wheels somehow. Gets up sideways in front of Jaden Wilson, but stays on 2 wheels. I have no idea how he did it. Only gets back to third. Several riders going down over the wall jump, and Johnson trying to get back up the inside here for second, and he's going to do it. He's trying to bring his teammate with him. Nygren on the outside, going to lose a spot to Trevor Burns. But it's John Heilman leading the race right now. Remember, Heilman was able to win his heat race with a last lap crash to take the win. Oh, but he's going to go down. He does not fall off the bike, but that's Johnson right up to the lead. And another slew of mistakes. Johnson all out of shape. Somehow doesn't go down again. But now let's see if he can try to settle in and open up a bit of a gap here. Still no sign of Tanner Rogers just yet. I think that outside gate pick really hurt him. Tyron Tomic was on the podium last week. He finds himself in 10th early on, but it's Johnson leading the way at the end of lap number 1 of the 250 main event at Daytona. Jaden Wilson right there in 2nd. Heilman still in 3rd. Brandon Nygren is in 4th. And they're all going to start funneling in a little bit here and start doing some cat and mouse with each other. Oh, through the whoops. Jaden Wilson getting kicked sideways. He's off the track. Heilman goes by. So Heilman moves back up into 2nd. Man, Rogers buried down in the field right now. He has got a lot of work to do to at least get some decent points out of this one. As mentioned, it's a salvage ride. You can see that red plate in the background there going the other direction. And Payson Johnson continues to lead this race, pulling out a little bit of a gap now, 5 seconds. And as always with Daytona, it is going to come down to just making the least amount of mistakes and clicking off consistent laps. So Johnson, who has yet to win a 250 main event in his career, though he did win the 250 National Championship last year. Those of you that have never been with us before for MX Simulator Pro Racing, Payson Johnson was banned back in 2019 for an infraction and missed all of the outdoor season back then. And I think he was still banned for Supercross, which is why we didn't see him in Supercross in 2020. Comes back unbanned finally for the Outdoor Championship in 2021. Wins the first round of the season at WWE Ranch, goes 1-1 right from the get-go, and had never relinquished the points lead after that. Held on, won the championship. That is why he is career number 8 now. To win a title outdoors, you had to pick a single-digit number. But really, this is only his 2nd Supercross professionally in this game. And could this be a chance for him to take the win? It's actually really his 4th professional Supercross, because he did race 2 rounds of 450 action when we were racing the East Coast of the series. So he raced Houston 1 and Houston 2 and was, as many of you remember, involved in a controversial moment there when he was easily going to win the 450 main event, but elected to slow down and let other riders win it, which was deemed not cool, essentially, by the Race Factory Gaming crew. You had all these guys out here trying their hardest to win the race, trying their hardest to even make the main event to score points, and Payson Johnson electing to just not race, even after he qualified for the main event and led most of the race. Something that many people were not happy with, but he sat down for the rest of the 450 rounds and came out swinging in the 250 East Series. Almost won the opener last week. Now finds himself leading here at Daytona, pulling out a nice gap so far on John Heilman. It's Jaden Wilson in 3rd, and Brandon Nygren right now in 4th. Ethan Gerst runs inside of the top 5. He has got Brandon Holmes right behind him. This is a good little battle right now, battling for this top 5 spot. Who's going to get a better drive into the whoops is what it comes down to. Holmes goes for a bit more of a send, so he's going to pull up alongside, but then go down, which is what's been happening to guys all night long. So Tomic goes by, and Frank Jackson also went by on the 47. Holmes able to get up still behind these guys. I think this is now 8th for him. Daniel Paz then would be 9th, right? Yeah, 9th for Paz. So across in 10th, and Tanner Rogers Opening round winner, red plate holder, gonna go around the outside of Cross for 10th. That's his teammate right there, so they played pretty nice. And then Ryder down, he goes up into 9th spot. So Rogers is on the move, and after having to win the LCQ to even make it into this main event, he's doing himself a really good job at salvaging points. But I'll tell you one thing he cannot do right now is go down. If he crashes right now, he goes from his 9th spot back to maybe 17th, 18th. Look at how close all these guys are. We'll watch it in this corner real quick, but Tanner Rogers up the inside. Look at how close. That's Zoa Cross going by. And then for Zaka, and look at how close everybody still is. Up the inside there goes Robert Wilson. And all the way back to, I think that's 16th right there that just went by us. So crazy stuff, how close it still is. Tyron Tomic, he got on the box last week. Finished up in 3rd after having to go through the LCQ himself. In fact, barely made it out of the LCQ. Actually finished 5th in the LCQ, but was lawyered into the main event on cuts. So he finished 4th officially, even though unofficially he had crossed the line 5th. Made the main event and then took every last bit of that golden opportunity that he got to finish up on the box at the opening round, and he is continuing to charge forward in this main event. We're creeping up on the halfway mark of this thing real quick, and Johnson continues to lead. 20-second gap now on Jaden Wilson. Got a request in chat. MC Andy Williams dropping 279 Canadian dollaronies asks, can we get more first-person views? Sure. Who should we go on board with? Who's in a good battle to make things kind of interesting? How about Tyron Tomic? Let's go on board with the Aussie on the Connect Visual 41. He's trying to pass up into the 4th spot. He just did it. Now can he run down Brandon Nygren just up ahead of him? With that double in, then these 250 guys are having a triple, where the 450 guys are going triple, quad, single through this. 35-1 out of Tomic. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, the gap, that green dot out front is Payson Johnson, and he is pretty much at this point almost the full straightaway that goes by the mechanics area out front of the field, which is absolutely insane, the gap that he's already pulled out. So Tomic up into 4th, trying to close down and get his 2nd consecutive podium. You can see these guys again kind of jumping through the whoops. I think that's kind of the optimal option for these guys at this point, because you can still just kind of slightly blitz them, but you're almost guaranteed not to go down because you're just kind of pumping through the whoops instead of having to blitz them and get sideways or get an awkward kick or something like that. Tomic absolutely flying right now, though, trying to close up to Brandon Nygren ahead of him in that 3 spot. Oh, and he goes down just as I say that. Front wheel over that rut. So Heilman goes by, Frank Jackson goes by, and Tomic goes from 4th back to 6th. Zoa Cross, Ethan Gerst, Brandon Holmes, Kevin Forzaka, then Tanner Rogers back here. So Rogers will continue with some onboard action because of the donation, but Rogers was up to 9th at one point. He's back to, well, now back to 10th. Was in 11th there for just a second, but just made a pass, and he's going to go back again. I think he just kind of blew that section. Let's see, it's going to come out just about even here, and that spot will be lost again, but he's trying to go back up the inside, trying to use this inside line here. Battling hard here with Kevin Forzaka, I believe it is, on the 59 BPC ride. And they're going to jump over Brandon Holmes on the right side of the track, so some good onboard action for you guys here. A little bit of kind of dualies over the triple, not really. So P10, your red plate holder, but definitely 3rd is still very doable. He has got like 6 riders right in front of him here. He's actually probably going to make a pass right there. I think someone just maybe went down, or no, it's for Zaka. Rider off the track, coming back on, getting on a little sketchy. Up the inside, Rogers is going to make that pass up into 9th. He's still right on for Zaka. Look at how close all these guys are going into the whoops. You got a 5-rider pack here. Rogers jumping into the whoops there. Much better run going to go by. Now he's trying to jump past Brandon Nygren. He's going to end up alongside of him. This is now battle for the 7th spot. Oh, he's going to cross jump him, and John Heilman was just down. So Rogers almost hits Heilman, who is getting up from that crash. Then up the inside goes for Zaka. Rogers kind of clips him, gets front end lock, and then loses 2 more spots. So the battle continues to rage on here. incredible action. Look at how close these guys are. Our rider's down at the end of it. It's Heilman, and he was down there with... Well, Rogers is off the track. Who is the rider that he was down with? Rogers just lost a ton of time. Oh, Zoe Cross. Zoe Cross was down with Heilman. And then Rogers went off the side of the track. 24-second lead right now. Payson Johnson continues to hold on to that gap out front. So the front of this group. Oh, Verzaka just got landed on by Nygren and takes 3 riders down. So Heilman goes by. Rogers goes by. And Lane Wofford goes by. So Lane Wofford on the westofx.com number 181 finds himself in a good position. Rogers, I think, just moved up to 6th now. Wow. So that was a huge plus for him. Going to try to run down Heilman to get inside the top 5. Frank Jackson up ahead is running in 4th. Tomic has now found himself back up into 3rd, so he's on the podium right now as it stands. Wilson in 2nd, and here's Johnson way out front. 26-second lead and just kind of cruising at this point. Johnson looking like he has no issues out front. The only issue he's about to run into is he's catching a big group of lapped riders. 128.6 just reset fastest lap of the race out front, so he's in kind of a bit of a zone right now. However, that zone might be interrupted. Here comes that group of lapped riders that he's going to hit. Man, gets right up on top of those whoops, making it look so easy right now. Pretty much one of the only 250 guys I'm seeing doing that right there. Popping up like that and then doubling. Oh, careful. That's what I meant by that lap traffic. 34-second lead though right now. Johnson in complete control out front. Still Wilson, and now Frank Jackson's moved up to 3rd, so Tomic went down again. And here comes Rogers trying to pass Heilman. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, Rogers going to get around Heilman? No, cases the triple, and Heilman going to jump right back on by him, so Rogers has to go back to work. Couple teammates battling it out for 5th right now. Rogers getting a great drive, going to try to jump past his teammate Heilman. There's still bar to bar. Up to the wall jump. Rogers going to stay low, and Heilman goes over the bars. Oh, and then Cross lands on him, and Wofford goes by, so Heilman only loses 3 spots in the end. Well, really 2. He was pretty much already getting passed. Could have been a lot worse, but Zoe Cross kind of got a bit of the brunt of that one. So now Rogers has moved his way up into the 5 spot. Now he's going to try to run down Tyron Tomic for 4th. And Tomic, who is in 4th, is almost a minute behind your race leader. So it's also going to be interesting to see where Payson Johnson might lap himself up to at this point. Oh, Wilson just went down in 2nd. He's got a big gap, though. He was like 20 seconds ahead of Frank Jackson. So Jackson going to close down a little bit, but not do too much damage in the way of time. And look at this. Payson Johnson... I cannot do it justice how far out front Payson Johnson is right now. It's insane. He's got such a big lead. And he's just trying to weave his way through lap traffic. Time just expired, so he is going to get the white flag next time by. He's just walking through these guys. 35-second lead on Jaden Wilson. So actually, he must have had a little bit of a fall. Or maybe that gap is going to open up. I'm not 100% sure. So here it comes, white flag waving. Payson Johnson on the verge of winning his first career 250 Supercross main event. And just like it almost happened in the 450 class at Houston 2, it's about to happen at the 2nd round of this 250 West Championship. And he's going to do a little bit of a quick underflip just to kind of prove a point. Nah, that's not on purpose. That was an accident. So it's still Wilson, Frank Jackson, Tomic, and Rogers. Rogers is closing on these guys just a little bit, so he might still be in it with a shot at the 4 spot on Tomic, but that's as far as he'll go. Lane Wofford trying to keep him close. John Heilman has lost another position. Neil Fitzpatrick is coming up into play here on the 71. Zoe Cross. So there's been good battles going on all the way through the field. Just hasn't materialized into a very long battle. You're kind of seeing these guys struggle to keep it close. Although here on the last lap, this is turned into a nice one. Cross, Fitzpatrick, and Heilman close together. Johnson continuing to lead out front. Actually bringing us down to the flag right now. So Payson Johnson finally going to stamp his name onto a winner's ticket in Supercross. And it's going to be the big one. Daytona belongs to Payson Johnson. And with it, at least a share of the points lead. But most likely sole possession of it. Because Jaden Wilson, Frank Jackson would need to crash out of this race pretty much. Tanner Rogers has indeed climbed his way up into 4th. I don't think he's going to get Frank Jackson unless Jackson crashes. So this kind of determines how big of the points gap will be between Johnson and Rogers at this point. But Jaden Wilson, who was 6th last week, bringing it down to finish up in 2nd in this one. A nice podium for the Covenant number 65 ride. Solid effort, though it looks small in comparison to that 38-second victory out of Johnson. Frank Jackson 1 time more through this section, and he'll be on the podium here tonight. I think this might be the first podium for Team Nami this year, so how about that? Frank Jackson, 3rd here at Daytona. Tanner Rogers out of the LCQ and 4th in the main. I think he'll take that after being 18th early on as well. Lane Wofford ends up top 5, and Tomic will cross the line in 6th. John Heilman going to get 7th in this one. Brandon Nygren going to be in a drag race here for 8th. Ethan Gers trying to outduel him, but Nygren gets to the line first. Fitzpatrick ends up inside the top 10. For Zach Holshots, this one ends up 11th. Zoe Cross crashed just a few too many times in this one, and he'll get 12th. And Seth Carr brings it home in 13th. It was Goran, Helms, Paz, Kazarian, Mudge, Wilson, Burns, Wagner, and Holmes behind that. Take a look and see if cuts changed anything inside of our top 10. And it did not. Nothing changed on cuts throughout the field. And Payson Johnson wins the main event here at Daytona. All right, one more race left to go here tonight, and it's the big one, the 450 main event here at Daytona. Can Leclerc pick up his 3rd win of the season, his 11th career win after winning last week in Orlando, extending his championship lead? It's 10 points between him and Tyler Lang. Lang has no wins this season and no career 450 wins, so he's looking for his first one here tonight. Braden Carter, he won his heat race earlier on, and he's got 2 wins already this year. He is only 16 points down the championship, and Jack Haley had to go through the LCQ, but he won that thing. He's got 9 career wins. 3 of them have been this season, and he's 26 points down in the championship. Adam Holm making his final start for 2021 here tonight, so we'll send him off in a nice way, hopefully with a podium. Also look out for Dennis Fjellberg. Jeremy Siebold snuck into the main event as well with his 22 career wins and his defending championship. Colton Mitchell ran up front during his heat race. He's going to be one to watch. A lot of talent in this 450 class, and this main event here at round number 9 of the championship is brought to you by MX Simulator. Without MX Simulator, and more specifically Josh Vanderhoof, none of this would be possible. MX Simulator captures that motocross feeling like no other game you've ever picked up. and Race Factory owes everything to JLV. Thanks, Josh, for the continued support of Race Factory Gaming Supercross. All right, Tyler Lang, Nathan Prinz, Seth Garrett, Dylan Copeland, Colton Mitchell, Colby Eaglin, Jacob Hubbard, Jack Haley, Luke Magnetti, Casey Ohlert, Braden Carter, Bobby DeSalle, Luke Sullivan, Dennis Fjellberg, Matthias Janis, Jeremy Cohenauer, Byron Downen, and Alexis Leclerc are going to the line, and one of them will walk away with the Daytona Supercross victory here in this 450 class, round 9 of the championship. Who is it gonna be? Let's find out right about now. Question in chat, $279 Canadian dollar donation from MC Andy Williams says, are you able to use a controller when you race? Absolutely. Everybody that plays this game uses a controller. I personally use an Xbox 360 controller. People use Xbox One, PS4, PS5, whatever you want to use. But yeah, keyboard players, oh man, it is hard to play this game on a keyboard, so do not recommend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Let's get those revs up and drop the gate on round 9. It's the Daytona Supercross NMX Simulator. Carter up the inside, controls through the first corner. I think Leclerc went down. It's going to be Klein with the early race lead. Sean Klein, RaceFactorGaming.com, Whole Shot Award. It's Carter right behind him in second. And a slew of other riders behind that, but Leclerc is a bit buried early on. I didn't see Jack Haley either. I think he's back there with Leclerc. And boy, this is setting up to be an interesting one. Sean Klein, another rider who has never won a 450 main event, as Seth Garrett goes down out of third early on. Carter going for the race lead. He's going to get it. Carter on the number 19 EVP. Kawasaki goes to the front at Daytona. And Klein immediately crashes after the tunnel jump, and he's going backwards. Copeland moves up in a second. He's got Jacob Hubbard right there behind him in third. And a little mistake out of Carter is going to allow Copeland to sneak right up into the picture. Adam Holm, in his final career race perhaps, runs in fourth early on with Seabolt looking for his first win in his title defense inside the top 5. Oh boy, this is going to make for one heck of a race here at Daytona. Leclerc still back there in that 13th spot early on. Hubbard trying to square off and go around Copeland. He is going to do it. So Hubbard moves up into the 2 spot. Holm trying to sneak up the inside to go up into third perhaps. Seabolt instead is going to jump by him and go up into the 4th spot. But in between them all comes Tyler Lang, and almost 3 wide over the triple. Side-by-side dualies with Holm, and Lang going to try to move up into the 4th spot. Again, dualies over the finish line jump. And remember, Tyler Lang, another guy who has never won a 450 main event out here, trying to go up into the front here early on, has made a nice move on Holm to get his night moving a little bit faster, as he is now trying to close up on Dylan Copeland up ahead. You can still see Hubbard just up the road of that, trying to close the gap down on Carter. Oh, and down goes Copeland. Holm has to jump off the track, but everybody else going to be able to just get right over Copeland. He's kind of down in a fairly nice position right there. You can see Leclerc going by as well. I think I just heard another rider down. Well, Hubbard was off the side of the track out of second, and I saw a gas. It wasn't Lang, though, because Lang is up into second now, as Hubbard ends up alongside Leclerc. And look at this frantic action. Nathan Prin just ahead of Sean Klein. Leclerc trying to go through. Leclerc will get around Sean Klein. Still not seeing Jack Haley up in here just yet. And I don't think he is. I think Haley's a little bit further buried down the field right now, unfortunately for the number 2 machine. Colt Mitchell, a little bit of a mistake and everything trying to funnel in. Haley is indeed down in the 16 spot right now. Big uphill battle to go. How about Adam Holm? He's finding himself in a real good spot here early on. Right behind Seabolt. And Seabolt running in the 3 spot. But it's Carter and Lang, 2 guys that are trying to gain points back on Leclerc tonight. And as they run, they are doing exactly that with Carter out front, leading this main event. Lang in 2nd, Seabolt 3rd, Holm coming across there in 4th. And man, Leclerc has made a lot of passes. It's Mitchell in 5th and Leclerc already up to 6th. So the Frenchman is on the move. But this race, more than anything, it's so much about attrition. And Leclerc had a rough heat race because he just could not stay off the ground. So we'll see if that is a continued instance with Leclerc in this main event. Little battle brewing here. Colton Mitchell working his way forward. Just got around Adam Holm and is trying to close the gap down to Lang and Seabolt. Seabolt trying to go to work here on Lang for the 2 spot. Has to cut the bails a little bit there. These guys are going to triple in. And they stay low again and triple and then go for this quad. Oh, and if you get it wrong, it's so bad. Mitchell not able to get all the way over there. But Seabolt is certainly flying up to catch Lang. And we're going to see whether or not they push each other. Right now, they have closed the gap down significantly to Carter. Basically halved it that last lap. Not sure, maybe a mistake out of Carter caused that to happen. But man, it's close. Oh, Seabolt and Mitchell together in the background. Seabolt is upside down. And I think Mitchell went down as well. So Leclerc is going to go by. Holm was off the side of the track. And I think that just moved Leclerc up into the 3 spot. So Leclerc, the seas have parted for him. Little out of shape in the whoops. Has to back out of the challenge and another big kick towards the end. Going to allow... Oh, Hubbard jumps over top of him. Ends up alongside of him, but he doesn't have the preferred line through this section, so Leclerc just going to take advantage and go right back through. But it's still close in this battle here for the 3 spot. Carter and Lang trying to pull open a gap out front. Claire up the inside, keeping Hubbard, and now Nathan Prynne, who finished 2nd in the main event last week at Orlando 2. So things are panning out a little bit here early on. About 6 minutes into this main event. We're going 20 minutes in a lap. So everybody trying to jockey for position here early on. Prynne gets that quad line, but Hubbard is still keeping it close on Leclerc. He's going to get a drive, actually. Leclerc did not get the triple clean. Hubbard almost tossed it away over the finish line jump, but able to corral it back together. So now Leclerc has to go back to work to try to get back into that 3 spot while his countryman closes up. Wow, Leclerc up the inside so fast and smooth. Bar to bar there with Hubbard. Dualies over the triple, and Hubbard crashes and goes down. So Prynne goes out of the way. There goes Holm. There goes Colby Eaglin on the 24. And coming down now is Seabolt, Mitchell, and Haley just going to get there to go around the outside of Hubbard. No, Hubbard trying to fight back up the inside, but Haley is eventually going to get that spot. Man, look at the talent that's at the front of this field as well. Now Hubbard back up the inside of Haley in the whoops. Incredible action. So Carter opens up an 8-second lead now as Lang has Leclerc closing up on him. And we see Hubbard now back into the clutches of Jack Haley. Haley trying to sneak up the inside, can't quite get it. So much talent at the front of this field. And another little bobble there for Haley. Hubbard trying to take advantage of a mistake out of Mitchell to close up on him. What an absolute freight train up here, though. Seabolt trying to go after Colby Eaglin. Eaglin's going to get around Holm. Little mistake for the 17 machine. So now Eaglin, your 250 East defending champion and current points leader, has a bit of breathing space to go after Nathan Prynne, the rider out of France, ahead of him. Woo! Shout out, no touchy to Hutchie. $10 donation in chat that says, thanks for the awesome broadcast, my man. No, thank you for not only your donation, but continuing to watch us here at MotoOption Supercross. Round 9 of the series. Prin gets hung up high in the corner, tries to get going, holds up Holm a little bit there. Holm able to get going ahead of him, and that allows Siebold, at least tentatively, to get by. Here comes Mitchell and Haley closing up with Hubbard at the back. Mitchell, a great drive in the whoops, also going to get by Prin. And Hubbard down in the background, so he's going to lose out on this battle as Haley's trying to close up and salvage some points. Prin a little sideways. Not going to get the preferred line here, and Haley might jump up the inside of him for position. That is a nice move for Haley. Just able to get up the inside and make that pass. Now Prin trying to shoot back up the inside in the next corner. Goes far inside here, but Haley around the outside rails the turn and stays ahead of him. So look at this freight train of riders. It's so close. And at the front of it now is Leclerc, who just made another little bit of a mistake. Actually, he's got around Lang, I should say. And Siebold closing up as well. All right, so Carter continues to lead here, creeping up on halfway. We are 9 minutes in to this 20-minute race. Leclerc now finds himself back in second. It's Tyler Lang in third. Jeremy Siebold now up into fourth. Colton Mitchell in fifth. Nathan Prin runs in the sixth spot. Adam Holm is seventh. Jack Haley is in eighth. Jacob Hubbard now finds himself in ninth. And Sean Klein is ahead of Colby Eagland in 10th. And Luke Magnetti back here as well. So a freight train of talent still right at the front of the field. And at any moment, things could go a little bit more crazy as Lang was down. And look at all the spots he's going to lose. That is so much championship points as Holm gets a little sideways. Nice job at saving it, but then I think Haley just went down. Yeah, Haley did go down at the end of the whoops. So Hubbard is going to go by right there, and Haley is going to get going just ahead of that battle with Eagland behind. Carter, Leclerc, Mitchell, 1, 2, 3. Siebold battling it out with Mitchell now. Off the track was Prin, and Haley just went down after the wall jump, so Eagland goes by him. Leclerc was down after the tunnel jump. Weird spot to go down, but he was. And now Prin closing up with Lang behind him. Let's go on board with the Frenchman Nathan Prin. These guys electing to go inside. That was Mitchell down. And then Leclerc gets ran into by Prin, but somehow Leclerc gets unfazed at all and continues on. Now trying to run down Siebold, who has moved up into second. And Braden Carter walking away out front. Side by side with Leclerc is Lang. Lang trying to go up the inside of Leclerc after the finish line jump. Let's see, does he just go to the inside of the corner? No, Leclerc goes for the defense and blocks the turn. So Lang trying to square back off. He's going to go to the outside here. Leclerc prefers this inside, but Lang, if he can get a good drive here, might pull up alongside. He is going to be bar to bar and over the triple. Dualies with Leclerc into the next corner. And he's going to go up the inside for the position. Nice pass in the end out of Lang, but then he's going to blow this jump and end up side by side with Leclerc again into the whoops. Some electing to jump, some electing to skim. Three-rider battle here for second. Siebold, Leclerc, and Lang. A mistake out of Leclerc. Lang going to try to jump around the outside of him. Gets him. Leclerc trying to fight back up the inside. Gets incredible drive every time out of these insides. No idea how he's constantly pulling that off, but he does it again. So Carter absolutely pulling away out front at this point. Up the inside, Leclerc going to make the pass on Lang again. Lang just was trying to get that triple out from the outside, which a couple guys are still going for it, but I'm seeing more and more going to the inside there. Now Leclerc going to work on closing up on Siebold. Carter continues to lead a 22-second lead at this point. This Daytona Supercross victory is looking like it's all his, and it might also promote him to second in the championship. At least right now, he's gaining 5 more points on Leclerc. He would close it down to an 11-point deficit. Oh, Leclerc hung up in the corner, takes Lang with him, and Hubbard also got a little bit hung up. As Leclerc gets going, Lang will get going behind that. And Jack Haley right now, he's down in the 16th spot. So Jack Haley coming a bit unglued right now. Unfortunate to see out of your 2019 champ, and Hubbard was down after the wall. That's going to be Leclerc and Lang going back by him, and Holm as well. Be great to see Holm end up inside the top 5. And that's where he finds himself right now, just ahead of Hubbard. You can see how much that track is worn down, though, in the sand. The ruts are so deep in the sand right now. So things kind of separating in this front group. Close battle here still between Holm and Hubbard. Ooh, little mistake for Holm. That's going to allow Hubbard to close up, but then Hubbard made a mistake of his own. So who's going to get the better drive at the end of this section? It's bar to bar. Hubbard goes for the quad out and gets it. And that's going to be a position gained up into 5th now for Hubbard. They're still trying to run down Leclerc just up the road of them in 4th. And Lang and Leclerc going at it now for the 3 spot. So Lang is trying to at least gain some points back on Leclerc. He is 8 points down right now. Oh, and he just went down again into the bales. That's the second lap in a row that Lang has been down in that exact same spot. And that's going to cost him a spot to Hubbard, but not to Holm, as Leclerc got a little kick there at the end of the whoops. So Seabolt still in 2nd. Here is Carter out front, though. And just to give you an indication of the gap, that is Carter in the lead. As he continues on, you can see Seabolt coming at us right now. That is Seabolt in the 2 spot over the tunnel jump. Kind of great perspective here to see where the gaps are. So Seabolt in 2nd over the tunnel. Leclerc coming over the tunnel jump now in 3rd. Then Hubbard right there in 4th over the tunnel. Lang now in 5th. Shorts it, almost goes down. Nice save. Adam Holm in 6th. 7th now, I guess, is Magnetti. 8th is Eagland. And this is 9th coming over the tunnel, I believe, Copeland. And then 10th, Colton Mitchell. 11th, Sean Klein. 12th, Nathan Prince, side by side. 13th for Cohenauer. 14th. I didn't quite see the number. There's Janice in 15th. And then 16th right there is Luke Sullivan, I think. Fjellberg 17th. And wow, there goes Haley under the tunnel in 19th spot right now. He's getting lapped by Braden Carter, so Chase Blakely in 18th. You're going to see Haley coming at us here, though, right now. I believe that is Haley, unless he has called it quits in this race over the tunnel. And there is Carter. 10-second lead. Seabolt's closed it down a little bit. Leclerc dealing with pressure from Jacob Hubbard right now. Lang 4 seconds back of that. Leclerc a little short on the tunnel jump. I think that was maybe Mitchell down in the background. Somebody went down underneath the tunnel. Looked like a Panini Motorsports Yamaha. Hubbard has definitely closed this gap down on Leclerc. Leclerc not tripling in here. This is Hubbard's opportunity. Triple. Does he still go for the quad? He does. Oh, it's close. Little dualies. Not side by side just yet, but now they're coming to the finish line. They're going to be side by side. And Hubbard just trying not to go way over the finish line jump. Slams on the brakes. Leclerc trying to defend. This is a couple points for Leclerc right here, so he really wants to hold this spot, but Hubbard's going to pull up alongside again. Little flicks over the triple, not quite dualies. And Leclerc, hard defense up the inside, so Hubbard just going to square back up and end up trying to get alongside of him into the whoops. Great battle for 3rd right now, and if it comes to blows, Tyler Lang sitting back there licking his chops. 17.5 minutes are complete. Here comes Hubbard alongside Leclerc on the wall jump. Doesn't have the preferred line, though, so has to kind of check up and go to the left, and then still kind of blows the line, so Leclerc opens up a bit of a gap. That was just Hubbard not getting the line correct there. but he's still close, and he's pushing Leclerc every bit of the way, and now Leclerc has Hubbard run into his back tire. Lang going the other way there. You can see Adam Holm going into the tunnel right now. So Leclerc just trying really hard to hold on to this third place position. Catching Seabolt might be a lost cause. Carter out front, looking at probably 3 to go. Yeah, it will be 3 to go right now for Carter. Seabolt keeping him honest, though. And remember, Seabolt has not won a race yet this year. Currently sits 67 points down in the championship in 6th spot. He is the winningest all-time active rider with 22 career wins. Of course, the all-time winningest 450 Supercross rider, Tyson Fresquez, on 29 wins, retired a few years back. So Seabolt, if he had a good year this year, could have maybe dethroned Fresquez, but as the rounds are winding down, Seabolt would need to go on a torrid stretch to even tie Fresquez in career wins this year. Gap is coming down, but I think he's still going to need a mistake out of Carter. It's going to be 2 laps to go next time by because time will definitely expire. And here we go again. Hubbard has caught Leclerc for 3rd. They've both opened up a nice gap now on Lang. Look at this. Hubbard up the inside. Oh, did he rail that line? What a move by Jacob Hubbard to get up into 3rd. And Leclerc now going to have to go back to the drawing board. He's been very good in this long rhythm lane at just minimizing the mistakes, really, as a lot of guys are running into some problems. He goes up the inside here. This might be the opportunity. Yes, it is. Look at that. Just right back around him. Hubbard had no answer. It's a great line that Leclerc is using. Oh, my goodness. Hubbard with the scrub and a half is to have been absolutely going at it for so much of this race. Oh, Leclerc with a little wheelie into the rollers here. Hubbard trying to square off. This is the same spot he almost got him before. He goes outside here. Leclerc doesn't get this inside clean every time. Then Hubbard triples over, basically ends up alongside of him. That's some dualies right there, baby. And Hubbard trying to close that gap up the inside. Leclerc, I mean, this is a carbon copy. We just saw this 2 laps ago in this section. So Hubbard trying to get on top of the whoops. Leclerc does get a very nice drive in the whoops this time by as time has expired. Hubbard jumping longer and again ends up right beside him here on the wall jump. It goes for the defense because Ohlert was down and Leclerc doesn't get the preferred line. So Hubbard up into the podium spot playing spoiler. He is not in this 450 championship race. He is battling for that 250 East title, but he is costing points to Leclerc right now. As Carter, again, going to see a big points haul right here. This is a 7-point swing for Carter, bringing it down to a 9-point deficit in the championship with more wins on Leclerc, so he has a tiebreaker, but we're still a long ways away from that, obviously. Mistake, Hubbard not going to get the preferred line. Leclerc back up the inside, and again trying to get it, but Hubbard going to triple by on the outside this time and gets that quad, so he's holding Leclerc at bay. I'd have to imagine this race is coming down to the very, very end of this one between these two. Leclerc a little short on the finish line, or no, Hubbard went long, and now Leclerc closes right back up on Hubbard again. Is he going to try a dive bomb? Well, he's going to go up the inside here. This is the line Leclerc likes. Inside, doesn't quite get the drive that he wants, so Hubbard holds it on around the outside. Leclerc maybe up the inside here. No, just trying to stay out of the rough stuff. Then they go double, table over single. Who's going to get the better drive into the whoops now? Hubbard having to kind of hop through them. Leclerc, a much better run, but electing not to launch the wall. I don't think he has the suspension really to land it. Oh, man, Hubbard almost pile drove it into the wall jump there, and Leclerc cutting back up the inside, trying to make a move. Hubbard has to go outside in the tunnel. Leclerc back into 3rd. Meanwhile, coming to the checkers out front for his 3rd career win, his 3rd win of the season, and potentially pulling up much closer in this championship hunt. Braden Carter wins the Daytona Supercross. Seabolt trying to hold on for 2nd. Leclerc has definitely closed that gap down. Coming down to a good drive in this last straightaway. Hubbard has lost touch with Leclerc, and Leclerc makes a bundle of mistakes, so it's a bummer that he wasn't closer, but Siebel will hold on for second in this main event. A nice podium for the defending champ. Leclerc ends up third on the night. Hubbard will get fourth. Lang is losing fifth right now to Eaglin. This is points for the championship. Lang trying to minimize the damage, would only lose 3 points if he can get Eaglin's going to lose 4 as it stands right now, but Eaglin beats him to the line for fifth. Lang sixth, and right behind him, Magnetti, a solid ride for seventh. In his swan-song effort tonight, we're not going to see Adam Holm anymore in Supercross this year as he chooses to take a bit of a hiatus from pro racing and focus on his music career instead. Holm crosses his final Supercross of the year in 8th, and maybe the final Supercross of his career. If so, a great run tonight for Holm. Nice to see him finish off on a strong note. And Dylan Copeland going to bring it down here and finish 9th for Tagger Designs. And Matthias Janis, great effort for the 130 Moto Playground ride. He will end up in 10th place by the looks of it in this one. So Janis ends up in 10th, Sullivan 11th, Kohenauer 12th. Then it was Fjellberg in 13th, Klein 14th, Blakely 15th, Byron down at 16th, Casey Ohlert 17th, Jack Haley ends up 18th, Prin 19th, Mitchell 20th, Seth Garrett 21st, and Bobby DeSalle 22nd. Take a look at cuts real quick up front, see if it changed much of anything. Nope, all stayed the same up there, and Carter confirmed as your winner of the Daytona Supercross. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the Daytona Supercross in the books behind us. Want to give a quick final shout out to all of our sponsors: MotoOption Clothing, MX Simulator, Race Duck Suspension, Phil Ski and Snowboard, Underground RC, OG El Paco on Twitch, and MXS Lobby. Thank you for your continued support. And thank you to every single one of you guys in chat here tonight for hanging out with us and watching round 9 of the MotoOption Supercross series live here on Start Your Systems, MX Simulator's premier series from Daytona. We had a pretty good night of racing, I think. Specifically, that 450 Heat 2 was insane. But the main event's also very good. Payson Johnson picking up his first career win. Brayton Carter, his third career win in the 450 class, third win of the season. Now sits 11 points back in the championship and overtakes Tyler Lang for second place in the championship. It looks like it's coming down to a 3-horse race after a bad night for Jack Haley. Leclerc, Lang, and Carter now separating themselves from the rest of the field as we move into next week's round in Arlington, and we'll see you guys at AT&T Stadium next Wednesday night, same time, same place, 6:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, and we hope to see you guys there. So thanks, guys, so much for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next week in Arlington. Bye-bye.